It's Bruin the Celtics. WBCFM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Beasley Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots won their first playoff game in nearly 7 years last night as they shut down the LA Chargers 16-3 in Foxborough. Drake May threw a touchdown pass to Hunter Henry, but he also turned the ball over twice and watched the other side of the ball pick him up.
This defense was so fun to watch. Congrats to them, man. It was so fun to watch. They won the game for us. I didn't throw very well tonight. Need to be better, but we did what we had to do, and that's what it takes in the playoffs. And just proud of this team. That was fun, man. That was fun to get one at home, and look forward to be back here next week.
The defense sacked Justin Herbert 6 times in the win. Kayvon Chason had 2 of the sacks and a forced fumble. Patriots are moving on to round 2 of the postseason. They'll play the winner of tonight's Houston Steelers game in Pittsburgh this Sunday at either 3 or 6:30 p.m. Buffalo will go to top seed Denver on Saturday after getting a late Josh Allen touchdown run to win in Jacksonville 27-24. Also, the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles are out. They lost at home to San Francisco yesterday 23-19. The Niners now go to top-seeded Seattle on Saturday. Chicago hosts the LA Rams on Sunday. In hockey news, the Bruins swept their weekend back-to-back yesterday. Care of a 1-0 home win over Pittsburgh. Victor Arvidsson's first period goal was all the Bruins got. Jonas Korpisalo added 27 saves in net for the shutout. Bruins are 3-0 on the homestand. They play Detroit at TD Garden tomorrow night. Bruins have also re-signed defenseman Jonathan Aspero to a 2-year contract extension. And the Celtics had yesterday off. They play Indiana at the Garden tonight. Jaylen Brown has been listed as doubtful with lower back spasms. Sam Hauser questionable with right hamstring tightness. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Premier Basement Waterproofing. If you're not hearing your sump pump pumping, it may be old and without a sealed-up basin. Now you can take advantage of 0% financing to upgrade it and start pumping again. 844-LIVE-DRY or premierbasement.net. It's game over for water. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Boston's best sports talk. There's an app for that. Download the Sports Hub app for loads of stuff. Absolutely free. Connect with the shows, get podcasts, and more. Get it where you get your apps. Or at 985sportshub.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Okay. All right, man. I gotta let you go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy. Town Fair Tires Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us live on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 Sports Hub on YouTube. Obviously, a lot of Patriots coverage today as we review the win last night. Not to spoil anything, the Patriots won their football game last night 16-3 over the Los Angeles Chargers. It is now, we know, as we knew before this game, that if they won, well, no matter what, these teams were playing on Sunday because you can't play Sunday night and then turn around and play Saturday. That's what they were saying. You knew that. You heard that during the show, didn't you?
Well, the argument was if Buffalo won, they were going to definitely play Sunday. Because if Buffalo won, they would be forced to play the two teams that play tonight.
Right, and they don't want one of the two teams playing tonight to play Saturday.
Oh.
I think it's more about the Monday-Saturday thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there you go. Yeah, so the Patriots on Sunday will play the winner of tonight's Houston-Pittsburgh game, which no doubt Pittsburgh will now win. So look out for that.
Just to further drive home the point in someone's head that you were wrong, Fred. Aaron Rodgers is awesome. And what has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers, it was because he was a Jet. That's why he was poorly.
Well, that's what I was. It was when I was thinking about the one listener, but I will tell that one listener we went over it. It was no big collapse in New York when Rodgers left. They lost 2 more games. He was 5-12, and they went 3-14. I mean, and Brady Cook was the quarterback there for the last few games, and he won't play in the NFL next year, in my humble opinion. But yes, did it bother you that it was on Sunday night? Did it destroy you as you thought it might? You too?
It didn't. This morning I did not feel good, so that's number one. And after having watched 4 games in their entirety, it would have been nice to have one game last night where I'm like, you know what, I'll tap out at halftime and I'll catch up in the morning. I would have been totally okay with that.
Selfishly, it was more about the lack of sleep last night into this morning, which is why I wanted the Patriots to play earlier.
See, that's why I just don't understand how much sleep you can get on a Sunday night. That's the thing, is that regardless of the game or not the game or whatever, just a Sunday night. Now, look, it's less sleep than I normally get, but not by a terrible amount. I was so jazzed up after the game. I obviously couldn't sleep.
We're partying and we're like high-fiving and stuff.
Yeah,
so there's all that.
I mean, my emotions were out of control. So I mean, it did take me a while to wind down.
I probably went to sleep. I went to sleep later than I normally would, but I was in bed around the same time because you stay up later on a Sunday night because you've been up late Friday and Saturday. But last night it took me longer to fall asleep because I was working like during the game, and right after the game finished, I finished what I was working on, and that puts your brain in a different spot. You're not in relaxation mode. So when I find like, okay, well, it's late, but not incredibly late, and then I laid in bed for an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go to sleep until after midnight. But the thing is that I got lucky with yesterday is my daughter had a game at 1. So I missed the first half of the Buffalo game, which was almost a relief because I didn't watch 3 complete games. And then there was no way I was watching the whole Eagles 49ers game. I find those NFC playoff games involving those teams depressing. Something about being young and knowing school was the next day or something like that. There is just something like I find. Yeah. NFC East and NFC East playoff games to be depressing. I just do.
There's something in your past that conjures up a bad feeling.
Yeah,
I get it. I totally get it.
I just figured it out. Turning 51. I just figured out yesterday that it has something to do with school. Like that, those were the teams that played, and I never cared about any of the NFC East teams. I never have, ever. And in fact, Dallas is annoying. Like I just don't like the Giants. I find all these teams annoying, and so I don't hate them or have any visceral feeling for them. It's like a mild annoyance with them.
See, that's funny because I'm trying to think of something that it equates to, and the only thing that comes to mind is the Summer Olympics, which I don't watch and I don't look forward to. But something about the Summer Olympics being on reminds me of summertime when you were a kid, the 84 Olympics.
The 84 Olympics is mine, too, as I remember during the 84 Olympics when I was 9 thinking, like, I'm in a really good mood.
Yes. Yeah, it was
like
fun.
That was a good year.
Yeah, and you're not in school, and there's cool stuff to look at. And what's his name? Carl Lewis.
Yeah.
That's good. So even now when the Summer Olympics come on, I'm like, yeah, this feels good. I like it. But I don't watch it.
Yeah, maybe it's that it's January and, whatever it is. So I went and walked the dog 5 miles during that game. I couldn't. I just didn't want to be inside. And then I watched the second half of that game. So I watched the second half of the first two games, and then I watched obviously the whole game last night. So I didn't feel overwhelmed by football, and I didn't watch. I ended up watching the second half of the Saturday night game because my son had a friend over. I went to the movies with my daughter, and then I ended up watching that the second half of that Chicago game.
When did you watch the Karen Reed Lifetime movie?
I got an advanced copy of that, and I kind of lived it.
Yeah, right.
I was so involved in the trial.
I know Wallach was watching it in his house because there's one TV that with duct tape over the knobs. You're not allowed to turn it off a Lifetime.
Did they have the text message with you in it? Did they have that text message? Was that part of the movie?
I did not watch it.
Oh, okay.
Well, if they're going to make a movie about it, it's going to have the text message from the Karen Reed trial that features Hardy's name.
That's the most important text message. It's certainly not.
It was the glove. If it was the glove, the OJ trial.
Yeah.
That was the Karen Reed
it.
thing. No, when Hardy's name was in the Karen Reed trial, you had realized, they've run out of things to read.
So they're literally reading all the texts in all the phones.
And that's no insult to the station or to Hardy. That's just there was nothing in that text. It was just something about that he did a read for a rehab, and that there was some kind of drinking situation. I don't know anything about the Karen Reed trial. I just know they were all drunk. And so they were trying to show some kind of drinking thing, obviously, with that. I didn't see anything of the Ram-Panthers game, very little of that. Because, you got to go see the housemaid, which I suggest. There you go. There's your pregame. There's your postgame stuff.
I finally finished watching one battle after another just in time for it to win the Golden Globe for Best Comedy or Musical last night.
That was listed as a comedy.
Oh, yeah, right. Mixed in with The Bear and the other great comedies of the last several years.
You know what? They got to start making comedies again. They really do, because there's obviously just not enough comedy.
Why did they stop? That's what I want to know.
Because they don't
make money?
They do make money, but Hollywood is relying almost completely on blockbusters now. So they can make a bunch of horror movies because they're really cheap to make.
Yeah.
But the idea of a under the radar teeny comedy or just straight up comedy, they're very hesitant to make now. They invest all their money into. Here's what Hollywood invests their money into: 90% kids movies and superhero movies, like blockbuster types, and then or franchises. And then they'll scatter in one thing after another to Oscar-y kind of stuff because they want that prestige. But they don't take chances on comedies. That's why no one leaves Saturday Night Live anymore.
No, I get it. It's just sad. There's no this decade's Anchorman or Old School or anything like that. There's nothing close to it.
Well, I mean,
depressing,
if you look at the biggest, if you look in the early 80s at the biggest movies, Stir Crazy was one of the biggest movies.
Silver Streak.
Silver Streak might have been bigger than Stir Crazy.
I think it was.
I think it was. The first, whatever the first prior Wilder one was a legitimate all-time
I think that was
moneymaker.
See No Evil.
See No Evil's all right. See No Evil's an all right film.
Don't be talking bad about See No Evil.
When he can't hear, he goes, Manria. Manria. I saw that in the theater, and when I was little, and I was just crying, laughing. It's one of the movies, one of the hardest I've ever laughed at a movie.
Watching Gene Wilder talk about his relationship with Richard Pryor in those movies, he was obviously a real lover boy and a very emotive guy, but it's hard not to feel the way that feels something when he's talking about it, because he says all those movies I did with Richard, he said they're all love stories. It's all about these two characters, and not in a homosexual way or anything like that, but that's what they are. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, Gene Wilder, he was a gentle soul. He really was. John, stop laughing.
I'm not laughing.
The man's
at you.
dead now.
Okay,
stop it.
Pryor made lots and lots of money on those movies,
Good for him.
And then they gave him a huge contract, and everything bombed. All right, let's get to football. Paul, go ahead.
Hey, I'm an Eagles fan. You guys want A.J. Brown? You still need A.J. Brown?
Yeah, that's a whole situation. So if you don't know, Sirianni was yelling at A.J. Brown. He says that he was yelling at him to get off the field. And then A.J. Brown pouted for the rest of the game and dropped a pass, a meaningful pass at the end of the game. And, and then the Eagles fans booed the team off the field. In a home game, but you did
in a home playoff game.
But Paul, you did get that insufferable bodyguard guy caught a ball.
Hell yeah, you did.
So you do get that.
I don't get the whole thing with this big Dom dude. I mean, why would you wear a freaking headset?
Well, he's Italian, and if you didn't
So am
know,
I.
well, then you know, Paul, that because he's Italian, you have to love him. He's. If someone is of Italian descent and you are of Italian descent, you have to love him.
Paisans.
And by the way, he's very necessary, Paul, to keep the players safe, considering there are federal snipers on the roof of the building. Paul, if not you, Paul, if you're not, if Big Dom's not there, the whole operation falls apart.
Did you see
Fred,
Dom?
you need a big Dom. When you leave the studio, you need your own big Dom.
I know. I need what was the guy that used to be with Opie and Anthony? I need
I did.
not Hot Tub Johnny. That was Dice's guy.
You need a Ronnie. That's what you need.
I would love a Ronnie. I would love a Julio. I would love a Ronnie or a Julio.
Do you see before the game the Eagles and Niners came close to each other, bad blood between the two teams.
Yeah.
They're like jostling back and forth. Dom made sure he was standing right in the middle of that.
Yeah.
But he wasn't trying to separate the players. He just had the shades on and, the earpiece in and was standing with his, arms folded, but was standing in the middle of them, not trying to separate anybody.
Yeah.
It's fantastic how he knows where all the cameras are. There was a pregame interview on the field. There he was, standing in the background.
Is Dom still wearing gazelles? Because I was zoomed in on a photo last night of him showing off some toy. That's I'm glad the reporter, whoever the guy was down on the field, said, Big Dom asked me to take this photo.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah, because apparently what he's got is very sought after. But then I was zooming in on the glasses. They might be gazelles.
Yeah, when the reporter starts saying, you asked me, you get into Johnny Gomes territory, where the reporter, even the light reporter, ends up saying, okay, this guy's so insufferable, I'm just going to tell you that they asked me to do this.
Yeah, it was much like, Johnny Gomes, you asked me to ask you something at this point,
Right.
So let me ask this horrible question.
Yeah.
Right. It takes a lot. Sideline reporter deals with a lot of crap, players taunting him or her, whatever the case may be. For the reporter to actually physically call someone out for doing that,
he's not a
that
player.
wasn't the first time Big Dom has messed with them.
Well, I'll tell you, Brady did not roll with the punches well with that. And maybe Brady, this last season, calling games for Brady. Because when Dom caught that ball, Brady got all, riled up, and they started joking around about it. And it's like, well, a guy caught a ball on the sideline. I can't – look.
For everyone who says Brady's gotten better, and I don't listen closely enough, I don't care that much about the announcers. I do notice when I think they're really good, like Olsen. I think Olsen's fantastic.
That stood out, yes.
And that stands out. But when they're bad, I think I just tune it out. But I was listening more intently to Brady this weekend, and for everyone who says he's gotten better, I don't hear it.
Tirico, who I don't mind, I love Collinsworth, but Collinsworth was a little too excited about everything last night, saying everything was the key to the game. There were a lot of keys to the game. He said there was a lot, most important things, there was a lot of the story of the games. The narrative kept changing with the stories of the games, but, it was 6-3, 9-3. There was... It wasn't a lot to call, so I understand that he was searching for something, but there was a moment where the Patriots had to call a timeout and they were saying tomato juice, and then Tirico got into a very funny little thing going into commercial about Bloody Marys.
Oh,
and then you go, this couldn't get any funnier. I almost asked you guys to pull the audio in last night, but then I'm like, it's not that funny. But now I'm mentioning it. And then he capped it, like he punched it up at the end. He's like, "Does anyone want?" He goes, "Anyone want a celery stick?"
Yeah,
And you went, "Oh yeah, these are all things in a Bloody Mary. We're playing a fun game."
I had heard that celery stick comment. I didn't know what it was in reference to. It's one of those things that, as I said, I tune out. I stop listening.
No, I don't. I'm very tuned in, and it was a free association. He was very Robin Williams-esque. He heard tomato juice. He turned that into Bloody Marys.
Good.
Then he thought, "What's in a Bloody Mary?" A celery stick, and it did annoy me enough that I'm talking about it at the first break of the morning. It did bother me. It just was this free association. None of it went anywhere. It was not funny, but then Collinsworth said, "I'll have one," which it kind of like I like that because I was like, "All right, Chris, you're all right. You're having a good time in there." All right, look, we will get to the game. The good and the bad, everything coming up, and then later we have Mike Reese, we have Bob Sosi. We'll go over the other games that happened as well coming up at 8:00. If you'd like to call in your comments on the situation, 617-779-0985. Look, it was score-wise not as close as a lot of people thought it would be, and the end of the game, the end of the game score is the end of the game score, and a lot of people thought that it would be around 3 points. Not that gambling matters, but they did win handily at the end of the day. And I've said end of the day, so now my job is done. Maybe I'll be on my way now. I've finally made that statement.
Yeah, take a powder.
Thank you. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. We'll go over everything that happened in the game yesterday. best friends that can be my buddy and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Did you catch the game last night?
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. What happened last night's brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened, so change your lettuce and change your life. With Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR, we'll get to phone calls as we go through this game. 617-779-0985. You can get in. We'll take you sporadically as we go through the game. As your call fits into the narrative of what we're speaking of at that moment.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's a good idea.
And then we'll take calls throughout the show, so you'll be very comfortable. This is going to be an unconventional show. If you're unfamiliar with the show after a playoff win, we are we're much more open. I encourage you to participate. It's a much looser operation as opposed to the tight form this show
but the
usually
seamless
is.
weaving of highlights and phone calls and conversation and
you handle the highlights. Let Daddy take the phone calls. Nick's got to be on point though, which is no certainty.
Okay.
So we're all really relying on him. But go ahead. The last night, here we are, a playoff game at Gillette Stadium. It's been a very long time, and here we go. Coin toss.
Boom!
The Chargers win. They defer.
Bam! Cradle Rock style.
Chargers.
Well, it wasn't 3 and out for the Patriots. It was 5 and out, and they punted. And then the Chargers got the ball. They made it 6 whole plays before they punted. And you're thinking, well, how's this game going to go as the Patriots get the ball for the second time?
Chargers align 2 high safeties on the second down drop. May off a play fake. Tries to throw over there. The ball's tipped and nearly intercepted by Derwin James. And eventually it is picked off by the Chargers. And the Chargers have possession of the Patriot 10-yard line on the deflected interception.
You're lucky it's not a pick six.
Yeah, that is not good.
Well, you didn't have to worry about any sixes, but
barely pick threes in this game. Yeah.
Okay, so when this happens, this is all very obvious. But you go, okay, if the Chargers score here, 2 things went through my mind. If the Chargers score here, maybe it's not the end of the world because obviously the Patriots had a history there for a long time of allowing an early touchdown and then kind of getting back to things, but that the Chargers needed to convert this into points.
Patriots have a terrible red zone defense. I figured it was an automatic touchdown after they got the ball at the 9.
But I didn't even think that necessarily needed a touchdown. This was going to be – I mean, the Chargers have a good defense. I just said, you got to take points here. That's what my thought was.
In a road playoff game, where the score is going to be low, score is going to be down, you need points wherever you can get them. I mean, and especially if they're gift wrapped for you.
And not to bury the lead, but Vrabel very wisely chose points last night.
Yes.
And Jim Harbaugh, in this case, did not.
Yeah. So it's zeros after the first quarter. Patriots
Because ultimately they go for it on 4th down and don't get it.
Big hit by Marcus Jones on a scramble to keep Herbert out of the end zone too.
Yeah, Jones goes low. He's real small and Herbert's real big, but he goes low and he keeps Herbert out of the end zone. And at this point,
and by the way, I get that you're on the road. And, there was a decent breakdown about this in one of the earlier games where it's like you don't have your full complement of plays as the road team. If it is a loud plays, and Gillette Stadium, to the fans' credit, did seem loud last night. If you get down inside and you're, well within the red zone and you're on the goal line, all right, we're the road team here. Who knows how tough it's going to be all night to get down here again. Let's go for it. I don't hate that for the Chargers. I really don't.
I did hate it, and I'll tell you why. Is that I would just be like, you're going to lean on your defense in this game. I would just take points there, and
Absolutely.
also I already saw phantom rushers. Herbert at that point he looked absolutely crazed. You have to remember in the first half. they're not getting. It's not just me. Collinsworth was talking about it. They're not getting pressure on him. He's flailing around in the backfield. He's out of his mind.
He had playoff fever.
Yeah, they're doing orchestrated runs for him. He's unable to pick up any. He's just frenzied.
The play calling at the goal line there when they had the ball at the 5-yard line was ridiculous. You had 1st and goal at the 9, 3 Herbert runs, and then a rollout incomplete pass. And Marcus Jones making that tackle of Herbert at the 2 instead of the 1 was a big, big difference. If he tackles Herbert at the 1, a whole other set of plays come in. So Herbert runs, 2 of those runs were designed for 1. That third one where Jones made the tackle was a scramble. I don't know what. I mean, the Chargers at that point were running the football decently anyway.
Yeah.
And Vidal was making room for himself. I don't understand the play calling. I don't understand the decision making. And Hardy, I agree with Fred. You on the road, you take the points immediately, especially if you're gift wrapped.
And if they were on the 1, no, because then you got a big quarterback. But if you're on the 2, I just would take the points and go, thank you for 3 points.
Yes.
That was nice. We appreciate it.
Get the early advantage on the road. The game changed. If you're up instead of tied, it's a big difference in a game like that.
I thought that at the time. I just don't. I wouldn't leave points off the board. And by the way, that would have just changed the tenor of the game.
Yes.
But and if you look around the league, missed extra points were a huge factor in 2 of these games.
Oh yeah.
It came down at the end of 2 games, the Chicago game. And the 49ers game.
Oh.
The missed extra point at the last drive, both teams needed a touchdown.
By the way, when we go around and talk about the other games, someone's going to have to explain to me why a certain team didn't go for 2 in that 49ers-Eagles game. That was ponderous.
Yes.
But it didn't end up making a difference. All right, let's get back to the issue at hand. I'm glad you brought up Marcus Jones and that tackle on Justin Herbert, as he did. He went low and he tripped him up just enough to get him into a position where they were uncomfortable.
Which is sort of on Herbert, too. If there's a 5'8" kid taking your legs out,
jump over him.
Or do something. Step on him. All right. Herbert was just disgraceful last night. He was terrible. And I'll give the defense a lot of credit in the 4th quarter and
they
in the
sensed
second half.
you got to give Zach Cord, the defensive coordinator, credit because they, like you, saw that Herbert was seeing things that weren't there. So they started blitzing him. They started sending 6-7 guys at him. It was great.
Yeah. And then, most quarterbacks would go, oh, they're sending 7 guys. Maybe my running back would be available to pick up 8 yards if I can just dump the ball out of my hand. But he couldn't see anything.
How many open guys in the flat did Herbert not throw the ball to,
or miss when he did throw it? I mean, he was absolutely awful. And in the second half, I'll give the Patriots a lot of credit. In the first half, he looked like a guy who had been sacked a million times over the course of the season and had no faith in that offensive line. It was really something to behold because the Chargers defense gave him every opportunity to do something in that game, and he couldn't do anything.
Second quarter, the Patriots get the ball, and right away, finally, some offense.
Now the Patriots with a 1st down and 10 from the 2. May drops back in the end zone, checks it down, catch by Ramondre Stevenson. Running room to the 20, 25,
Come
30,
on, baby.
Left side 40, outside the hash marks, to the 50. Eventually caught on a 48-yard catch and run.
Great poise by Drake May here. He drops back. He's in the end zone. He knows it's zone. He looks to Diggs and then checks it down to Ramondre, and then it's the block by Diggs that springs Ramondre for a 48-yarder.
And that's what Herbert couldn't do.
And by the way, that was the play after the Chargers turned the ball over on downs. The next play. So all of a sudden, everything is flipped.
And by the way, May looks incredibly poised because he has the ability to sit there for 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and go, oh, okay, I'm just going to dump the ball off, which is something that Herbert – I mean, you'll see teams where you go, why he's just checking and why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? But when a team's just blitzing you constantly, just compose yourself. Just get rid of the ball. Get rid of the ball. But You couldn't do it.
No, and as exciting as that was, it still took 13 more plays for them to get into field goal range. A couple of missed passes, one to Efton Chisholm, which I did not see coming.
One by Efton Chisholm.
Yeah, one by.
What a call on third down. The reverse.
That did not make it into the highlight
sort of
package.
Philly
No.
special.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sort of Philly special situation where Efton
Imagine
Chisholm.
that.
Thank God he didn't hit him. Because I was just thinking with that video going around of us making fun of Efton Chisholm. See?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the greatest.
But for Drake May, we talked about this leading up to the game. Would he remain poised? Would he not do anything to undo himself? And there were a couple of plays last night.
Henderson on the right side of May. Drake with the hands in the hand warmer, now slaps the hands and takes the snap. With a four-man rush, he's hit from behind, and the ball comes loose. Was the arm going forward? The Chargers have it, and the officials are going to rule a fumble.
That's on Drake. Took too long. That clock, man. You got to know they're behind you.
Not only taking too long, but insisting on still trying to get a pass away when there are hands on you already.
Saw that a couple of times during the game. The lack of pocket awareness, which was odd. But the other thing that we can't go past is the terrible night that left tackle Will Campbell had, and the terrible night that left guard Jaron Wilson had.
We'll get into that because no matter who you play on Sunday, either of those teams.
Boy. Especially if it's Houston, not good.
Well, I mean, they can line up the Steelers line up pretty good defensive line.
Sure.
Either of those teams. Well, Houston, I don't know what you're going to do. I mean, if Houston can just rush four,
like Khalil Mack is over the hill. We can agree with this.
Yeah, he's old.
And we saw him push Will Campbell back 5 yards.
Right.
How many times? Like a bull rush straight at him. He didn't try to avoid him. He just pushed him right back into May more than once.
And then they would show him get beat with speed. I mean, he was getting Will Campbell. No, Will Campbell was terrible. Donovan, go ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, guys. It's the left side of the line looked really bad. And I don't know how excited we should be to go see that Houston defense because Drake May got his ass kicked, especially on, I can't remember what drive it was, but the one where Wallace where Collinsworth goes, that's the best fumble recovery I've ever seen by a lineman.
Oh, yeah.
And
that was
May got absolutely murdered on that play. They killed that kid.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they wanted to playoff win back in New England. Go Pats. There's nothing more you can ask for, right?
No, I mean, they win that game, and before we go to break, I do want to get through the odd possession at the end of the first half by the Chargers before the field goal by New England, when they gave them the phantom 4th and 1. They gave them the 3rd and 1. They gave them the first down, but then there was Milton Williams knocks Herbert down by a blow to the head.
Yes.
And then so everything kind of evened out.
Yes.
Another highlight that didn't make it into the folder.
How strange how that happens.
Right?
They left that one out.
But was Barth doing it? They but I'll tell you, so it all evened out. Louth was up to it. It all evened out, but and then as the Patriots have been very good at this year, at the end of the first half, they get the ball back and they're able to kick a field goal because May had a huge scramble, not able to put it in the end zone, but able to get a field goal, so they get points at the end of the first half. But there was a weird. It was a 3rd and 1, and there's a sneak, and they call it on the field that he didn't get it. It kind of looked like he didn't get it. Then with replay, they say he did get it. The crowd was very upset. Okay, fine. I do tend to go with the replay of it. I mean, the league said that he got it, but whatever. But that more than evens itself out when Milton Williams, with a direct blow in no traffic, just a direct blow to Herbert's head, they do not call the personal foul on that.
That extds that drive, and it's.
Then they don't punt. Yeah. So if they don't get points, you don't get the field goal, and then you go into the half. Then it would be 3-3, right? Yeah. Then you would go into the half tied at 3, with the Chargers getting the ball, and just an odd thing not to see.
Would have been 6-6, I think, going into the half.
Well, I don't like those two numbers because you had another one. That's the sign of the double.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, okay. So it would have been 6-6 at the half.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. So there you go. So it was 9-6 at the half.
6-3 at the half.
No. So it would have been. They don't. So no, it would have been 3-3 because then the Chargers, even if they don't get the field goal, it's 3-3. I don't know if that put them in field goal.
Patriots don't get the ball back.
Yeah, the Patriots wouldn't have gotten the ball.
Oh, I see. Ah.
Yeah. So I was right. So yeah,
Yeah,
it would have
you're
been
right.
It would have
You're
been
right.
3-3 going into the half. All right. Let's take a break. We will come back and we will continue to discuss what happened in last evening's.
Would have blown up the first half total because I think I think for betting purposes it was right around 5.5 if you're just betting points in the first half. So
Hey.
All right. Well, there you go. But yeah, an odd no call of the a blow to the helmet, but nonetheless.
Well, it was tough to see, because the hand was about 8 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And then Herbert's, I think, may have suffered a mild concussion. He got hit hard enough in his head.
I mean,
Herbert's a really small guy. It's difficult to see him.
Did you see when?
How does nobody see that?
The ref is standing right over there.
Did you see when Hurts slid in the second half of the Philly game and they gave They gave a personal foul.
Yes.
And it was when he was going just about to go down.
Oh God!
Guy was in the air when he's
and he hit him with his shoulder in the chest, and they called that. So if you're gonna call that, which I don't like,
no,
I mean that's not a good call. But I mean you're not allowed to hit a quarterback in the head, and it was odd. But they had gotten the controversial 3rd and 1 there, which Collinsworth said was the play of the game. When they got the 3rd and 1, which decidedly was not the play of the game, not even the play of that next 40 seconds.
It doesn't make my top 3 in terms of plays of the game.
I
no.
understand Collinsworth was calling a pretty boring game in terms of action, not in terms of how close it was, but in terms of action. But the idea that there had to be a consistent narrative happening, that he had to change on the fly.
Yeah.
Was at times seemed forced. I don't mean to be nitpicky, but it did seem to be forced. He's like, that's the play of the game. Well, no, it's not, because now they're going to punt, and the Patriots are going to kick a field goal. And then, so it was really meaningless that they picked up that first down. They didn't run any clock. They didn't do anything. Because Herbert, again, might have crapped his pants at some point in that game. Now he got killed in the second half, but in that first half, he was pretty clean. Anytime he got hit, he was out. He was running, designed run, scramble, and he seemed scared to do that too. So,
what the whole thing
Jim
was,
Murray called him a loser. I thought that was. I'm like, oh, listen to Jim Murray. He just loves calling people losers. He's a loser.
Yeah. The whole thing, every time he'd get hit or every time he'd throw an incompletion, they'd flash you a picture of him and be smiling like, oh, no, I expected that. I can't believe that happened.
Well, then they show him on the sideline and he just has his helmet off, just sitting there staring into space. I'd be a little concerned if Justin Herbert's my quarterback. I never really thought about it because all the bad games he's had in the playoffs were bad games. They're playing Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Or they're playing Houston in a game, who cares?
It's strange, too. He's lost. He's 0-3 in the playoffs, and he's lost 3 different ways. Very strange.
All right, let's break. We'll be back. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headline.
Trent Hardy
That's what I want on my tombstone.
on the Sports Hub.
Welcome back to the NFL playoffs. All the Patriots with a first down and 10 from the 2. May drops back in the end zone. Checks it down. Catch by Ramondre Stevenson. Running room to the 20. 25, 30. Left side 40. Outside the hash marks. To the 50. Eventually caught on a catch and run.
Ramondre for 48-yarder.
Drake on a deep drop. Steps up. May bumps. He's going to run across midfield to the 45, 40. Right down the middle of the 30. May with a cut right to the 25, 20. He's tackled at the 17-yard line. The kick by Borregales is good. So the Patriots get another field goal. Drake is under center. Slides left. Throws it to the end zone. Hunter Henry makes the catch. He's in. Near pylon. Touchdown. Patriots.
That's what I'm talking about. Look at this place. They're going bonkers. What a throw. And a 28-yard dagger.
All right, we are Toucher and Hardy. We left it off at the at halftime, and then just take us through the second half.
Sure. Well, in the third quarter, once again, the Chargers would get the ball, and after a 3-and-out, the Patriots would have another chance. Now, we had talked about this a little bit earlier, and for some reason now I'm not seeing the thing here that I wanted, but I'll find it very quickly. Justin Herbert seeing ghosts and acting very frenzied and frazzled. Drake May, and we noticed this again on this drive, just seems to not be all that interested in protecting the ball when he senses pressure, and not only senses pressure but gets hands on him. And there's people wrapping him up, and I don't understand how he does this multiple times in a game. The interception early on, that was deflected, but you fumble once. How it ends up happening again, I don't understand it.
That internal clock, for some reason, didn't go off. But the other part of it is, the only thing I keep coming back to is it's his first playoff game. He wants to make a play where during the season, especially the second half of the season, he's been really good about not exposing the football, taking a sack, or throwing the ball away. And
right.
He did not do that last night.
That just he was just sloppy on that. He was sloppy. He was a little sloppy last night. They kept, listen, Drake Mays had a great year, and they kept pumping him up, and every time they'd pump him up, he'd end up fumbling or missing an open receiver.
But this fumble that we're talking about now was at a big part of the game because they were in field goal range this time.
It's 6-3. They're in field goal range. I mean, it looks like a touchdown. If they score a touchdown at that point, it's going to be difficult, certainly with the way the Chargers offense was moving, for them to get back into it.
I was feeling the same way in the third quarter. If they score a touchdown and go up 2 scores, this game's over, considering the defense. And by the way, Marcus Jones, first possession of the third quarter, big pass breakup on Ladd McConkey. McConkey had a ball deep down the right, down the left sideline.
And I thought he caught it.
Yeah, I thought so too. And Jones took the ball away from him on the way down.
Jones pretty good.
Yeah,
Jones a good player.
But let's get to if you're looking for big offense and touchdowns, well, this won't take long. There's just one highlight to share with you.
Drake on a deep drop, slides left, throws it to the end zone. Hunter Henry makes the catch. He's into the near pylon. Touchdown, Patriots!
That's what I'm talking about. Look at this place. They're going bonkers. Here at Gillette. What a throw off the back foot. MVP type throw. MVP type drive. And a 28-yard dagger to Hunter Henry. That man done it at the 9:45 mark.
Very nice throw.
Yeah, that was
very nice throw. But
yes.
If you watched the weekend full of football, Drake May didn't look like, in this particular game, did not look like the best quarterback in football. Which is not to say that he's not or couldn't be.
But last night, very ordinary last night.
Last night he was fairly ordinary. All right, Paul, go ahead.
Yeah, kind of what you guys were talking about. When I see those plays of Drake, getting hands on him and he's trying to force the ball anyway, it didn't really strike me as someone just panicking. It looked more like someone who's bored and wanted a big play to happen, like he's getting impatient.
Maybe the game's too easy for him. He's trying to, increase the level of difficulty.
No, I understand what you're saying is that he was relaxed. He was holding the ball. He was loose with it, and maybe too relaxed in the pocket while he's feeling rushed and he's a little. While Herbert was frenzied, You're saying that May was incredibly relaxed, maybe too relaxed, and not aware of the pressure around him. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I'm being a bit optimistic, but I'd say that I'm glad he got it out of the way this game and hopefully settles down next game.
Yeah, I mean, they won the game, and he played way better than Herbert played. I mean, he was by far the better quarterback on the field. He just, I mean, I'm just reacting to Scott's call. I mean, he didn't.
Yeah. Look, that throw to Henry was really nice. There was another one to Austin Hooper in the end zone that was just misplaced, and it's not on Austin Hooper. Maybe there are a couple of receivers who would have been able to reroute themselves.
They
and get
said that
ball.
on TV, but
no one could have had
but
that.
I think that
was a bad throw.
I think that was too nice to Drake May. I think that
bad throw.
Yeah, I think that was just a bad throw.
It was open. It should have been a touchdown. It was a bad throw.
I think they were rightly critical of Drake May on that one. He didn't put it in the right spot. He had all that room in the back
But
left
they
of the
said
end zone.
Hooper is not like a super athletic guy, and da-da-da-da. They said that. By the way,
McCaffrey would have figured it out.
You know who wouldn't have is Keenan Allen, who was in the end zone, and I don't remember if it was the first possession that they had down there where they threw the end zone. And Keenan Allen, they didn't say anything about it, but it seemed like if he would have just jumped, that he could have at least gotten hands on a touchdown, gotten hands on a ball in the end zone. It might have been on that after the first interception.
Are you talking about on fourth down when he rolled out to the right? When Herbert rolled out to the right?
I think that might be the play I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then it seemed like he didn't even make an effort. The L.A. receivers, now, they didn't do anything. They weren't getting the ball thrown to them a lot, but they seemed rather lethargic. But I guess when your quarterback is completely crazed, you realize quickly that this isn't going to be a big night for you.
Let's continue this in a moment, Fred, because if Drake May deserves criticism, for the way he played, which wasn't great. We shared with you a highlight or two, and he was, good with his feet. But if you're really going to prop someone up this morning, it's the defense. And the defense will be getting the lion's share of the credit for this win today, as they should. And 3 big plays at the end of the game we'll share with you next.
All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy.
A 16-3 home playoff win over the LA Chargers last night. Mike Vrabel saw his defense completely shut down Justin Herbert in this one.
Secondary did a fantastic job with the play extensions and making sure that, those plays didn't get loose, and I'm just really proud of everybody.
Drake May added a fourth-quarter touchdown pass to Hunter Henry and a game-high 66 yards rushing in this win. Patriots are now on to the divisional round of the postseason. They'll host either the Steelers or Houston on Sunday. That playoff game takes place in Pittsburgh tonight. The other AFC matchup will be in Denver Saturday. Buffalo will visit the top-seeded Broncos. Bills won in Jacksonville yesterday 27-24. Over in the NFC, the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles lost at home to San Francisco 23-19. The Niners go to top-seeded Seattle this Saturday. The other game will be Sunday with the LA Rams visiting Chicago. Bruins swept their weekend back-to-back. They beat Pittsburgh yesterday 1-0 at TD Garden. Jonas Corposalo great in net, 27 saves for the shutout. Bruins are 3-0 on the homestand. They play Detroit at the Garden tomorrow night. Bruins also yesterday re-signed defenseman Jonathan Asborough to a 2-year contract extension. And last but not least, the Celtics had yesterday off. They play Indiana at TD Garden tonight. Jaylen Brown has been listed as doubtful with lower back spasms. Brandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Here we go.
Boom. I win. Boom.
Yeah. Hit somebody.
We've got a passion for Boston sports.
Get angry.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
I know. No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports
They
Hub.
probably got tired of hearing me talk about them being fourth in the league and in third down and what they were able to do as an offense, and so to be able to do that. But you have to be able to create some longer yardage situations, and we were able to do that. So that was real positive. I think being able to get drives stopped. Certainly, the Chargers want to possess the football. They want to wear you down, and I don't think we ever let them do that.
We are Toucher and Hardy. Patriots beat the Chargers last night, and we had left off Hardy. There was a couple things that you wanted to get to. We'll take your phone calls, 617-779-0985. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, we left off after the touchdown, singular, in the game as the Patriots take a 16-3 lead. So Patriots defense doing their job up until that point, holding them to a field goal, but 9:45 left in the game. Plenty of time to make up 13 points. And the Chargers get on the field, and after just 3 plays...
Herbert again from the shotgun, trips to the wide side right. He drops back, he stands in, he's pressured, he's hit, he stays on his feet, running right, and then he goes down. Ball is loose. Patriots have it.
Yeah.
Harris with the recovery.
Unbelievable what this defense has been able to do. Holy crap.
Okay. Yeah. Defense was good. Yeah.
Now, if you're thinking that the Patriots would need to add to their lead, they would not, which is a good thing, because after that fumble recovery, the Patriots would go 3 and out and once again give the Chargers the ball with 5:39 left. Again, you're down 13 points. Doesn't seem like they're going to be able to do it, but certainly much stranger things have happened. But the Patriots defense, once again, equal to the task.
It's a 3rd and 2. Herbert stops the right foot, extends the hands, takes the snap. A blitz is coming. Pressure, another sack. On the loop around, right to the quarterback. A sack for Anthony Jennings.
Boy, this is what happens when the game flips. You got Zach Orr down and up, your defensive coordinator, having called secondary blitzes. Perfectly timed.
All right, Patriots are sending 6, 7, 8 guys at Herbert. That sack by Jennings, just calling it a sack doesn't do it justice. He almost decapitated him. It was a head-on, right up the middle smash to the helmet.
And they weren't disguising it either.
No.
They were bringing everyone up.
Everyone's at the line of scrimmage.
Everyone's coming up
this
to the line.
This wasn't delayed anything. Here we come. This is it.
Am I going to drop back into coverage? No, I'm running up here, and I'm staying here until you snap the ball. And when you snap it, we're all coming.
Of all the hits that Herbert took, I think that sack we just played by Jennings was the worst one.
And there was nothing that Herbert could do on that one. I mean, he had no time. But again, yeah, I mean, they had loosened things up. Herbert had plenty of time in the first half, and he was very scattered. I mean, you watch football all weekend long. Even Bryce Young played way better than that. I mean, Hurts had a bad game, but he didn't look like that.
This is more to the overall point you were making before the break. This is now turning into a trend. He played well for 3 quarters and then completely became unglued. The first time it was Jacksonville they lost to, right? And then last year he threw 4 picks. A lot of them were early to get his team out of the game. Last night, different. He just wasn't good, got rattled. So now we have a trend. Herbert was supposed to be the next up-and-coming guy. Maybe he's a top 5 guy. This is a couple of years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Now, after watching what he's done in the playoffs, he's 0-3. He's lost games 3 different ways, and now this becomes a story every time he plays.
Well, and it should be if Herbert's your quarterback. So look, May last night wasn't great, but May was by far the better quarterback. So May wins that game, even if. Say Herbert is outstanding and May plays that way. You're not like May has a problem, right?
Yes.
You're not like, okay, well, he has a problem. Like he turned the ball over. The pick wasn't really his fault. He should have hung on to the ball tighter when he fumbled. Like all these things. Like he fumbled the ball a couple times. Not great, but not someone who looks like doesn't belong. Mm-hmm. If you're a Chargers fan, I mean. I'm very concerned about my quarterback.
Yeah, this is a pattern
extraordinarily concerned about my quarterback because, again, in the first half, the offensive line was fine. The offensive line wasn't the issue. Herbert was the issue. Now, look, I haven't watched all 22. Maybe no one was ever open and everyone was locked in, but I find that very difficult to believe that, there was nowhere for him to dump the ball off to. And if there wasn't, then he should have taken off. I mean, there were a lot of times where he had space and he just didn't take off. May's major success for most of the game was with his legs. If you pick up 10 yards on a scramble, that's as good as a 10-yard pass. Just Herbert looked awful.
And you know what?
Absolutely awful.
You know what? We went by it because the play really didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. But don't forget, near the end of the third quarter, he was strip sacked by Marcus Jones. And the running back, Vidal, happened to be staying, and that was one of their biggest plays in the night. He ran 13 yards for a first down. But
biggest play of the half.
As bad as Herbert was, it could have been a lot worse. I mean, the Patriots could have taken over in plus territory, gone down and scored again if Vidal doesn't pick that ball up. But once again, a blitz. Jones catches him from the weak side and punches it out. So as bad as Herbert was, the numbers could have been a lot worse than they were.
Yeah.
Right.
Game is over at that point. I mean, they go to the 2-minute warning. It's 3rd and 9, but still, there is one more to get 6 sacks on the night.
The first of 4th and 9 for L.A., 2 minutes to go. Herbert drops back. He's pressured, and he's walloped by Milton Williams.
That's the knockout.
Herbert sacked back at the 45-yard line.
He don't want to get up.
The 6th sack by New England.
He went through a triple block, gets him up high, slams him to the ground. The combination of him and Spillane is the difference in this game.
Spillane, difference maker.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. To Zell's point, though, he was talking about Gonzalez going out of the game, and that's a shortened version of that. But, okay, how are you going to make up for that? Because, as Collinsworth pointed out last night, what do you do here, Chris? He's like, I go at the side that Christian Gonzalez had been on during the night, and I start trying to exploit that.
They tried, but they tried. They did try. But now, do we know Gonzalez obviously was in the concussion protocol? Do we know what his situation is now?
Do not know as of this morning. Obviously, he missed most of the fourth quarter. Didn't come back. Wasn't on the sideline at all.
No, yeah, he got. So if you don't know, Gonzalez got up. He was staying in the game, but the officials removed him from the game. They put him in the blue tent, then took him to the locker room. He obviously had a concussion. So I guess that will have to be monitored this week as time goes by to see if he can clear a concussion protocol because that's out of the team's hands. So we'll see what the deal with Gonzalez is. That would be obviously one of the biggest blows that they could get, maybe the second biggest blow for this team. If obviously May being the biggest, I wonder if Gonzalez is the second most important player on this team. How they would make up for his absence, but there's a long time to go before that happens, because obviously they will be playing on Sunday. We don't know at what time yet, but they'll be playing the winner of tonight's game. Both of which teams have extremely good pass rushes, especially Houston. And given the weakness of the Patriots' offensive line last night, I don't think that's going to be something that has been overlooked. So at least a grueling night for Drake May. But the thing is if you get pressure on Drake May, there's always the chance he takes off. So he is dual threat, and with that is the possibility if you get after him and you don't get him down, which he's very, very good at, escaping that pressure. He's very good at getting out of contact. He's not the kind of guy you can grab his leg and get him down. I mean, you got to really get a hold of him. And, so if he can escape that rush, he can take off. He can make you pay for it. That's why he's such a valuable quarterback. Let's go to John. John, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, how you doing? Just a quick question point. For those that rely on momentum or think momentum's a real thing, how big of a deal do you think it was for the Chargers not to take the points on their first drive, and then the Patriots, right on their next drive, taking the points from just about the exact same spot?
I thought that Vrabel, we talked about it early in the show. I think that Vrabel was the better coach in terms of that last night, because you're right. If Herbert would have gotten to the 1, then you go, okay, we got to be able to get 1 yard. I've always been a believer in that. You got to be able to get 1 yard. But when he didn't get to the 1, you figure you were gifted this, take the points, and rely on your defense. And if the Chargers would have played that way, I mean, then the game is 6-6 at the half.
Chargers defense is better than their offense all season. Why wouldn't you rely on your defense?
And you saw it all weekend long. A lot of failures on fourth down. A lot of failures all weekend. A lot of teams gambling on fourth down and it not paying off. I am of the mind when you're gifted the ball that deep, you got to get out of it with something. Especially kind of how the game's going to go. Right? Like the Chargers weren't going to win that game with their offense. They weren't. So that. So I would have taken points there. I thought so at the time. I understand there are mathematical rules and things of that nature and charts and things, but if you believe in the way the game's going and the game's evolving, I saw this weekend that a lot of teams should have taken points.
There was so many things wrong with that sequence. I mean, the play calling down there, we went over 3 Justin Herbert runs and a rollout pass that really didn't have much of a chance. And then equally as big, and we brought this up last hour, that pass, the next play after they turn the ball over on downs, May checks down, finds Ramondre Stevenson, 48 yards. They have the ball at midfield, and any chance the defense would have of pinning the Patriots back and then getting the football themselves at midfield, gone. Patriots flipped the field. That sequence was huge in the first quarter.
The Chargers knew that was going to happen. That's why they were going for the touchdown. Like, we know, on the very next play,
right.
that somehow Ramondre Stevenson is going to catch a 4-yard pass and turn it into 48.
Yeah.
So,
right. Yeah. Isn't it interesting, though, that Herbert played so poorly that May just checking it down to Stevenson is like
taking what was given to him?
Flutie against Miami. It's like this, or Caleb Williams throwing off one leg, on fourth down. Herbert was so bad in this game. It was the second half.
The check
fine.
down to Ramondre Stevenson was the second biggest play of the game.
Yeah, it was just like, and it was kid showed poise, like, right? Like, you could take a safety. You're at a lot of pressure. You're in your own end zone. I understand all these things. May didn't play poorly. May didn't play like an MVP. And let's not argue the point. He didn't. He played well enough to win. He threw a great touchdown pass. He did all those things. But in a game, just shows. And the Patriots defense was really good in the second half. I don't give the Patriots pass rush any or much credit for getting Herbert off his mark in the first half.
No, early on they got zero pressure without blitzing. Zero.
And, when teams blitz, you have to make them pay for it, right? Like, a team shouldn't be able to just blitz. That you should at least be able. Look.
It took the Chargers deep into the second half before they figured out, if they're going to blitz, if we send a guy across the middle, he's going to be open and we can actually pick up yards.
Or we've seen the running back, chips and then gets off and you just dump him the ball. You dump him the ball in the backfield.
There were 4 or 5 plays there where the running back was doing jumping jacks out in the flat with no one near him, and Herbert refused to throw the ball to him.
I mean,
it's amazing.
And it's, and sometimes you'll give a quarterback a little grace because you'll go, he was getting nailed. So he's, wow, he's getting nailed. Now, Herbert got nailed all season, but he was, from the get-go, just completely frantic, seeing things that weren't there. I mean, guys, there'd be no one around them. And he's dancing around, and oh boy.
So
he's athletic. Take off. He's not Jared Goff back there. Take off.
Both teams were, it was the football was not great for big chunks last night. I'm like, how did they combine for those 25 wins? So I went back and I looked again at the Chargers wins, and they did have a win over Kansas City early on, and they did have a win over Denver, but they beat the Raiders, they beat Miami. They beat Minnesota. They beat Tennessee. You're like, oh, okay. Now I'm starting to understand it. They beat Vegas again. They beat Kansas City once Kansas City was done for the season. And so it starts to make sense, but it also makes sense when you hear what you think is hyperbole from guys like Big Jim saying Justin Herbert's a loser and he sucks. Last night, he sucked.
He was a loser, and he sucked.
Yeah.
Well, he's sucked in the playoffs. He's just been a terrible quarterback in the playoffs. And if I'm a Chargers fan, I'm legitimately concerned. All right, Mike Reese, our good friend Mike Reese from ESPN, will join us coming right up.
Toucher and Hardy resumes on the Sports Hub.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that Coach McDaniel's kind of said to us in the offense is that you come to the stadium with that kind of finality feel that it's win or go home or win in advance, and that's kind of the feeling that you get. So that's the kind of the biggest thing that I felt out there. And then from there, I think just the teams are going to be good. They had a great defense, they had a great quarterback, and we were the better team tonight. We made plays when we had to do.
It decidedly did not have a great quarterback. We are Toucher and Hardy. Mike Reese is ESPN's NFL Nation reporter covering the Patriots. By the way, you can watch us on YouTube if you're listening. I know after these games we get listeners from around the globe. Everyone wants to hear some very smart people. Some would say the smartest. They want to hear what the lamestream media has to say about what's going on with this team, and we are nothing if not that. Mike Reese, hello.
Good morning, Fred. Hey, Hardy. Hey, John. What an atmosphere. What an environment last night at Gillette.
Very loud at Gillette.
Hadn't felt it like that, obviously, since when Tom came back as a Buccaneer, but more for the Patriots. Hadn't been like that since that last playoff game when Vrabel was coaching the Titans. That was special to be part of that last night.
Do you think if you're a woman, it's like sitting on the dryer?
What does that mean, Fred?
I think it's more of a washer spin cycle.
Like you don't know.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a spin cycle.
Well, it depends, I suppose, on what varying degrees of vibration you need.
Well, I know what size load you've got.
Now
in there.
Mike's with it.
Hello.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, Mike? Do you think there's almost an eroticism to the seat?
Fred, it felt like a concert for me. We talk about our concerts. It was like that.
It's like Ricky
it was like
Springfield.
that.
Okay, so
It's like Ricky Springfield and Lynn.
Was it Air Supply?
No,
What
yeah,
was it?
thank you. What concert? Very quickly, and then we'll get to the football. But what?
Yeah.
It's not any concert. What concert would be closest?
Yeah, well, so like the concerts that would not the slower concerts,
No.
like like a good rock show.
What name one rock band that you could equate it to?
Bryan Adams?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I would do that. The first one that came to my mind was Journey, because I know Fred really wants to come with me this year.
Well,
with their big tour.
And maybe I will. Both
That would be
ways.
great.
All right. So, Mikey Reese, what was going on with Herbert in the first half? The second half, I know what was going on. They were killing him.
Yeah.
In the first half, did I miss something, or was he just completely he was almost putting himself into a frenzy?
Well, I think he's hurt, Fred. I think that's part of it.
And that he was afraid to get hit because they were certainly running him a lot for some kind of putting him through it. But he seemed to be
designed runs, not just scrambles.
He seemed, and maybe that was Harbaugh going here, get hit, but like he seemed like he was feeling pressure that maybe even wasn't there.
So my view of it, Fred, is they probably felt like they had to play a certain way to win the game, field position, protect the ball, be judicious when you take a risk. Like ultimately, probably the game was that first red zone trip for them, right, Fred? I mean, they get the interception. They're on the Patriots 10-yard line, and the Patriots stop them. I mean, if you look at Herbert's stats at halftime, he wasn't terrible, 10 of 13 for 93 yards. But he could, on that third down, I thought one of the plays of the game was that third down when he tried to run for the touchdown, and he had space, Fred, and it was Herbert versus Marcus Jones. And Marcus Jones, giving up 40 to 50 pounds on that guy, made the tackle. I thought that was a sensational play.
It was. And we talked about how important it was to stop him on the 2 as well, right? Like
Yes.
because I think they get in if they're on the 1. And we had this debate. Your thoughts on them not taking the points there, them going for a touchdown, fourth, a long 2. It looked like a little bit, maybe even a long 2. They choose to go for it. They don't get it. Did you think that was a controversial decision not to take points?
I mean, not controversial, but I would have taken the points.
I would have as well.
And Fred, we had this, and I like it when we have the discussion before the decision. It was even in the Jaguars-Bills game. In that game, I remember when the Jaguars went for it on that play, Trevor Lawrence, they reviewed it and his shin was down. before that, I said take the points. But maybe I'm, maybe
I thought, and John thought as well. Both of us we're being honest. During that, I was like, "Why you got a gift? You
get a lead on the road, especially in that environment. Get a lead."
And Mike, I think that I guess we'll take it here at this point. I think Vrabel managed the game much better in that sense, in that he was willing to take points.
I agree with that. And also, credit to the Patriots for making the plays. The red zone defense, if you were to ask me, okay, what are your biggest areas of concern entering the playoffs? They were 30th, the Patriots, in the regular season red zone defense. And part of that was that they didn't have a lot of trips from opponents. But when opponents got down there, you could almost guarantee they were getting a touchdown. So this is like a dramatic turnaround for them. Very well done.
No, excellent job for them in the red zone. If you're the Chargers, are you concerned that Herbert's your quarterback? This is 3 years in a row. This is a real thing.
So it's a good question, Fred. I'm not. I think he's hurt, and we probably don't know the severity of it.
Yeah, I know he's hurt, Mike, and it's his left hand, and he's been a tough kid, and he was tough last night, and I know all these things.
But they were saying he was taking snaps from center for the first time in weeks, and he was feeling better last night.
Okay, but I know he's hurt, and that can explain like throws being off and stuff. But if he's hurt, so you're saying he's hurt and he was afraid of getting hit?
Not necessarily the second part. I think he was hurt. Their two starting offensive tackles have been hurt for a long time.
And he's gotten nailed all season, but that wasn't happening in the first half. They weren't getting a lot of pressure on him. He was feeling phantom pressure. That's the only thing. And so if the reason that he was feeling the phantom pressure and that he might have been off was that he was hurt, there's two questions that I would say to that, and I'm not arguing.
Yeah.
I want to have the discussion.
Yeah.
Is that why designed runs? Because then I'd protect the kid. I mean, I wouldn't put him and tell him to go get hit. And secondly, if he's hurt, it was the pressure still wasn't around. So if you're saying that injury was the reason that maybe he was off in the first half, then it would seem to me that both the Chargers and Herbert are to blame because the Chargers were leading him into contact, and secondly, I just don't know. I didn't see a lot of pressure around him in the first half.
Yeah, I think I totally get what you're saying. I mean, I'm not saying it's only because I think he's hurt. Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think part of it is the Patriots defense deserves some credit for maybe disguising, Fred.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. Was there stuff? That's what I'm asking. Was there stuff going on downfield that I didn't see? Was everyone so blanket? There was such a blanket of coverage that there was nothing he could do, because it did seem even if they blitzed, he couldn't even find anywhere to dump the ball off.
So there might be something to what Robert Spillane said after the game that he talked to some of the Chargers players who said they didn't know what defense the Patriots were in.
Okay.
So there might be some of that. And honestly, Fred, like for those who follow the Chargers, their offensive coordinators coming under some scrutiny. Greg Roman, some thoughts. Is he the right guy? Is that scheme the right fit for Herbert? I guess what I would sort of sum it up with is I might be off on this, but I would say not doubt Justin Herbert at your own risk, but like I think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league still. And if you not put better things around him, but if there's better health, better scheme, better offensive linemen around him, I think we'll see the results. I want to say they scored 34, against the Cowboys. They had 16 against the Texans. We're in that game, in the last quarter of the season. So it's not like this was an offense that hadn't put up some points.
That's a macro. Just is that I don't think it was the offensive line's fault in the first half. That's all. Is that?
Yeah,
do you?
I'd probably lean more towards the Patriots defense. Coupled with a quarterback who's obviously not at 100%. I agree with you. That's fair.
Okay. Now, real quick, do you know anything about Gonzalez concussion protocol? Obviously, this is just a wait and see over the course of the week.
I think that's right, Fred. Just wait and see. Some people saw him in the locker room after the game. When a player leaves with a head injury, they can't do media interviews. My assumption would be he'd be in concussion protocol, but we don't know that for sure.
Does it bother you that obviously that he wasn't back in the sidelines and certainly back in the game, but just based on your recollection, when a player leaves like that, taken in protocol, and does not return to the game at all, does that speak to their availability for the next week, one way or the other? Is it a foregone conclusion, or is there still a good chance he's available?
So hard to know, Hardy. It's like, I'll give you an example from just recently. The Patriots had 3 players with in the concussion protocol, just call it like 3 weeks ago. Travion Henderson, and he returned actually the next week. Kayshon Boutte, and he missed a game and then returned the week after that. And then Jared Wilson, these are all in the same game.
Yeah.
Concussion protocol, misses the next 2 games.
Right, yeah, it's out of the
first time.
Patriots' hands. This becomes the league's been actually decent about keeping teams in check with that.
Right, and you answer my question perfectly. There's no way of knowing. There's
no way of
there's nothing to read in the tea leaves based on when they pulled him and the fact that he didn't return. All right,
exactly, and along those lines, I would say it feels like a different injury. Kairos Tonga, defensive tackle, foot injury, looks like he's on the cusp of coming back.
Gotcha. Okay. Go ahead, Sean. You said foot, and now we've lost Fred.
I know.
Next minute or so.
So
An
Mike,
injury? How bad?
Does it smell?
Is it mangled? Has it gone gangrene? Go ahead, John. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Mike, well, along with the win, there were some obvious problems the Patriots had to battle their way through. Drake May was not great last night, and the left side of that offensive line was even worse. What is your take on those 3 things moving forward to round 2 of the playoffs?
Definitely. So Drake, I think, said it, John. He didn't throw the ball as well. Probably did it when he had to, but that's going to be tough. Got to elevate that. So I think that's sort of obvious. Left side of the offensive line, look, I would actually start by saying, acknowledging the Chargers are a top 10 defense and they have been rushing the passer well. That being said, they can play much better. I'm not shocked by it, John, because the offensive line didn't practice really together as a unit fully over the last week. They had illnesses at different positions. Jared Wilson was still limited because he was in the concussion protocol, wasn't cleared until the end of the week. And this is Will Campbell's second game back, coming back. So I think with a little more time, it's not unreasonable to expect better performance. That's not excusing what we saw last night, but maybe a little context. So that was Drake, offensive line, and what was the last thing?
Okay, well, I wouldn't worry about Drake May. He seemed fine. But Collinsworth was saying throughout the game that he had seen this all season from Campbell, that you could bull rush him. This wasn't a surprise.
It was
to him.
striking that Khalil Mack pushed him back into the quarterback a handful of times.
And Khalil Mack isn't Khalil Mack 10 years ago. I mean, so when you're watching the game, you're watching Collinsworth. He hasn't done a lot of Patriots games this year.
Yeah.
He hasn't called Will Campbell a lot. But he's saying, hey, I saw this on film. This Campbell kid's a bit of a problem. And now, at least, unless you play Buffalo again, you're going to face kids that can rush.
Yeah, Houston and Pittsburgh both have better pass rushes.
Pittsburgh, Denver, everybody left except for Buffalo's got kids that can rush. That's not good.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, so first of all, the Patriots have proven they can win with Will Campbell at left tackle. It's not always going to be perfect. I don't know if there is a left tackle maybe outside of Trent Williams in San Francisco where it probably is perfect. I would say he's also a rookie, right? So he's not at, there's a developmental curve there. I don't think it's anything to sound the alarms on, as in this is going to squash their hopes of going to the Super Bowl.
No. But if you're handicapping what could be a problem in the next game, both those teams, it's not an ideal situation if you can get bull rushed and speed, just basically the left side of that offensive line.
Yep.
If you're looking for things to be concerned about, this is a concern.
I think that's fair, especially when you look at the next 2 opponents and some of their strengths. I think that's fair. I also would say in the big picture, Like, you got two players that are probably going to be there on the left side of the offensive line if Jared Wilson doesn't ultimately move to center, that you can win big with. And they're going to keep growing and developing their rookies. And this is what you get sometimes.
But Mike, but let's do this. Let's have some fun. If with the Patriots, if you look at it, say you move Wilson to center, do you move Campbell to guard? Then you have a center guard combination where you just pencil them in as all pros every year, and then you go out and get a left tackle. This is not. I'm not the only one who is. I'm not. This is almost a copied take. I've heard this a couple places. Do Campbell and if you move those two down, are you saying now I have foundational guard and center pieces for 10 years,
right?
And I go
out get an actual left tackle,
and I go get it, and I get a that Campbell could be a good left tackle or above.
That was the scouting report before he got drafted. He could be an average left tackle or a Pro Bowl left guard.
And I didn't expect to have this conversation today, but that's just a fun one to throw out there.
Yeah. I think I can get it because we're reacting to maybe one of Will Campbell's lesser graded games, but I would say that I would argue with the point that he can't be more than just an average left tackle. I think he can be a Pro Bowl caliber left tackle as he grows, builds more strength. I mean, this is a 22, 23-year-old kid going up against some grown men, and that's no excuse. But I think generally as you grow in your career, you're going to see improvement, and I think there's a lot to work with there at left.
Well, that's
tackle.
3 times you've mentioned it. I'm very excited too. If as rookies, if they can continue to grow, like actually get taller and like arms lengthen, especially for Will Campbell, that's going to be a huge asset for the Patriots. Their bones are still lengthening. They're young.
You and Bedard are on the same page.
Wow.
No, but I'm copying Bedard. Bedard said that he thinks that he could be this like all-world guard and then whatever. But we'll see. But okay. Now we don't know who they're going to play, but we know it's going to be one of two teams. Let's just real quick forecast next week. What would you see from just a matchbook either team if you face them? What do you see?
Well, I would. My thought is Pittsburgh's probably a better matchup for him, Fred.
Oh, you think?
Part of the So I mean,
what a gift that would be. Well,
given the obvious.
Yeah.
Chance to avenge that Week 3 game when they had 5 turnovers. I think Houston's defense. I think the points you guys make and how that matchup would look against that young side of the left side or the young left side of the offensive line. That is not a matchup that I think you'd sign up for if you could avoid it. So that's what I'll be watching for tonight. At the same time, Pittsburgh can be a tough place to go in and play, and so maybe the Steelers find a way tonight against the Texans.
I think there is a way that the Steelers find a way tonight against the Texans at home. But I'll tell you this: I would love to see him play Houston. You want to talk about a push? I think that I like the Patriots a little bit, but I got to think that's. Let's just see what happens, right? In that situation, that looks like that's a great game. Houston Patriots.
Yep.
That could go either way, right? Not to be lame, but that could really go either way.
Absolutely. And Fred, that's the beauty of this whole playoffs. I mean, really, this thing could go. This is so wide open. You know, we could be talking for another 3 weeks.
As a football fan, legitimately, I would just be like, wow, I would pay to see. And now I don't want to be there. I'm fine at home, but I'd pay to see that. What a game. The Houston Patriots. That's a game you pay to see.
What do you guys think of, but before you go, Fred, what do you think of Buffalo, Denver? Because it would if the Patriots end up beating, if it's the Texans, you think they're hosting an AFC title game, or do you think it would be on the road at Denver?
What would I prefer? Or what do I think is going to happen?
What do you think is going to happen?
I think Buffalo's going to beat Denver.
I do too. I watching Josh Allen stand in there against that Jacksonville defense. I think they can win in Denver.
Let's see how Josh Allen is feeling the rest of the week.
That's a good point too.
He got the crap kicked out of him.
He got the crap kicked out of him all year. And I'll tell you this: Hardy and I were at Detroit last year when Washington went in blue doors and couldn't be stopped. So we've seen strange things happen in the divisional round. But But I would, boy, I hope Houston wins tonight because I think that would be a great game. I really do think Houston Patriots would be a great game. All right, thank you, Mike.
All right, appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of the show.
Thanks, Mike.
And now we know what a big concert feels like sitting on a dryer. That's what you said. All right, thank you, Mike.
Hang up quick.
And there you go, the great Mike Reese from ESPN. We'll be right back. Here are the headlines. That's actually kind of funny. So Hardy was just telling us, and so what you know, Hardy's on this big. I'll do it this way. So Hardy, regardless, Hardy's not going to be here the Monday after the conference championship games. Now, obviously, these are plans he can't change, and obviously, when he made the plans, who the hell cares?
It was like last spring. You made
he's
plans.
like, who cares? Yeah, so who cares? Like, you don't even think about it. You're like, you're allowed to in radio. Well, you're allowed to really do it whenever now, but it's no big deal. Like, people can take a Monday off in January. Who cares? But if you're wondering why Hardy has to miss the day, he's still working. He's just working on the high seas.
That's right. And let's not sell it short, Fred. I won't be here the entire week.
Yeah. He's still working, though. This is a working vacation, but just not for this station.
And I have received my itinerary and the jobs that I will have to do on board the 90s cruise, sailing out of Tampa with ports of call, including the Bahamas and Key West.
Most big cruise lines and the real nice ones leave out of Tampa.
Yeah,
because you want to start as north as possible, as northwest as possible.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's absolutely true, especially when they're stopping in the great port of Key West.
Yeah. You get off the boat, you go to the Hemingway house, you look at the cats.
Yeah, if you want to walk or take a cab, walk for 5 hours or take a cab from that port. That port drops you off in the real dump that's surrounded itself around that port.
Oh, nice.
I'm not look, I lived in the Keys for a little while, not for very long, but for a little while. And I loved Key West. And one of the best days of my life is when the Hooters in Key West opened. So I'm not even saying that, like, oh no, the island's been taken over by corporate interests. The people around there were so excited that Hooters opened. It was like they opened like kind of for the locals, and it was like just chaos. Like, everybody went, like it was just the biggest deal. But when they put that cruise dock in there, that it did, like, it just like crippled things, because it makes everything around that dock awful, because you got to think of all the pieces of garbage that flows into that island. Now, the people that lived in the Keys were garbage, but the best kind of garbage. Insurance fraud salesmen, like real criminals. And they were great. They were so fun to hang out with, because they tend to do drugs and drink a lot. So there was really it was a really fun place, because everyone either had a fishing boat. And, well, Fred, what were they all, millionaires? No. Flats fishing boat, which requires an outboard motor and very little, because you can only put 2-3 people on them.
Yeah.
So if you captain a flats fishing boat, you're using a pole as your mode of propulsion.
There's a chance you have enough in your checking account right now to go buy one.
It's
not a financing situation.
Yeah. And if you're worried about, like, insurance in case there's an accident or something, fear not. Most of these guys don't have them.
Yeah.
But no, this just brings in people that ride on Carnival cruises.
So I don't know when we stop in Key West. I do know that during the conference championship games, I will be on stage introducing "Saved by the '90s," which I'm guessing is some type of a cover.
It's the corpse of Screech.
That's
worked by a puppeteer.
Yeah, that's 4 p.m. on Sunday, January 25th, followed by in the Rendezvous Lounge, Flannel Trivia, hosted by Rob Hardy Poole. That's from 5:30 to 6:15.
Flannel Trivia.
Now, is there any football being played at between 5:30 and 6:15 on Sunday of conference championship weekend?
They're not 1-4 anymore. I think they're
okay.
They're
I have a real question. Do you want it? Would you rather no one show up because that's highly likely, or do you want to face the 4 people that do show up?
So I talked to a buddy of mine last night who just went on a cruise out of
a normal
LA.
place,
Yeah. And he said they went to a trivia night on their cruise, and he said it was maybe the most fun they had on the cruise.
Trivia can be fun. I'm not saying that it can't be.
He said it was wild. It was packed.
Okay. What I'm saying is, though, that there's a chance, based on the football being played and this going out of U.S. waters, that there might be, people that go, and they start gravitating towards that.
And Jacksonville could be involved.
And if you're not in an outdoor lounge, like if you're in a lounge that's indoors.
No, I guess not.
No.
The sun will still be out, so people will still, that's like still kind of pool time. So you're going to be indoors on a cruise in warm weather, and people that are indoors would probably be watching football My question is, would you rather have it be empty, or would you rather face the 4 people that show up?
No. I first of all, there's going to be more than 4 people. I don't want it empty. Okay.
What else is going on at that time? Do you know?
I do not know. I don't have the full schedule of events. I can only tell you the things that I'm doing, like the behind the music interview with Sponge. I'll be doing that at 11:15 on Monday morning.
Oh, that'll be packed. Now, do you? Because on a cruise, you do realize that like you're at the pool all day, then there's a time of like showering and stuff, and then you go to dinner. So like 4:15 is a place where I would imagine you're either at a pool or you're preparing for the evening.
Yeah, I don't know because people are just getting on board the boat around that time. Like, what time do you get on the boat normally on a cruise? Like 3, 4 o'clock? Is then
yeah, they make you wait. It's the worst part about the boat is getting on it.
Yeah, so that day is different.
Yeah. Well, look, listen, you'll be with Sponge and we'll be stuck here. All right.
Right up until I introduce Smash Mouth on stage. That's at Thursday. That's on Thursday the 29th at 7:45
At any of those
PM.
ports, if there's ever an opportunity to buy a novelty T-shirt, if you could just, I'll give you a few $100 if you could pick up one on the off chance you run into one.
I'll get you some shot glasses.
Nice. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll go around the NFL.
More Toucher and Hardy. C.J. Stroud or Aaron Rodgers? We'll find out tonight. And then you'll hear the Patriots in playoff action right here Sunday on Boston's home for New England Patriots football. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Half Toucher.
Dressed like a gorilla.
Half Hardy.
A big, beautiful ball of flame.
And a whole lot of Boston sports.
And I have had many offers to become an insider.
Around the NFL with Toucher and Hardy.
Hit somebody.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Go to 98.5 The Sports Hub. Subscribe to that on YouTube. And you can watch us live, and it's got all the videos of everyone else around the NFL. It's brought to you by Joyce Cooling and Heating in Nashua. Tired of being cold around the house? Get up to a $2,400 rebate. So you can get up to $2,400 in rebates and tax credits when you start. When you upgrade to a high-efficiency Lennox system and start saving big in 2026, schedule right online at joycecool.com. And become the Fonzie of your house.
Cool. Think cool.
Think,
Mr. Escalante, it's too hot in here. Think cool.
you know, it didn't say that. Top student.
Have an orange and think cool.
You gotta let her in the class. She's top student. All right, take us through what we're talking about, Hardy.
Right.
There are a lot of games this week.
Yeah, there was another AFC East team playing yesterday. But first, let's talk about what was going on between the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles, mostly because it's the first football bet I've won in months. And not because I actually thought they were going to win, but I'm just taking big money line underdogs trying to make some money back. And thank you, Christian McCaffrey.
Sky Moore in motion. It's a trick play. They give it to Moore. Now flip to Juwan Jennings. End around. Jennings throws it to McCaffrey. And he's got it. McCaffrey caught it for the touchdown. Touchdown. 49ers. And that is the 49ers' own Philly special.
If you weren't watching the 49ers this year or weren't watching Christian McCaffrey at any point over the last several years, you're like, do they have any other players on the team? It's Christian McCaffrey. He's going to get so many touches. He's going to carry the ball. He is going to catch the ball. It is all about Christian McCaffrey.
He was only targeted 8 times passing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Who else do they have?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Ayuk's hurt. They have the Kittle ruptured his Achilles in the beginning of that game.
And he was hurt for periods of time this year, sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
and then you get to their defense, and they're missing Bosa and Fred Warner. They're missing tons of pieces. Shanahan. I don't know if you've heard this. Shanahan, good coach.
Oh, yeah.
Kyle Shanahan, a good coach. And Robert Saleh getting another head coaching thing because of the fall of the Jets. They went from 5-12 to 3-14 without him at the helm. I look at that and I go, give me him. Give me some Robert Saleh. I want a guy who's never had a winning season. Give him to me.
Well, after that, the 49ers up 17-16, but the Eagles not done.
Purdy back. Here comes the rush. He steps up. He fires, and it is intercepted. Intercepted. Mitchell, his second of the game. He's running with the ball.
Yeah, they would convert a field goal and take the lead. 19-17, but once again, Christian McCaffrey to the rescue.
McCaffrey is beside Brock in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Purdy wants to throw.
Oh, I thought he was beside himself. I thought he was he's beside himself, and he was about.
Yeah.
He'd gotten bad news, and he was about to faint.
Purdy wants to throw. Purdy pressured. Purdy steps up. Purdy throws. Caught. Touchdown, McCaffrey. Touchdown. 49ers back in front.
What's fun about these two teams is both their quarterbacks blow. That's a fun fact about these two teams, is that you got to see two real lightweights duke it out. Two real lightweights with good teams just try to decide who's the most mediocre game manager out of the two of them. They both stink. So that's fun to watch.
I mean, they were able to get away with it last year. Philadelphia now, they were able to get away with it last year. But, boy, that really showed up yesterday in that playoff game. How mediocre to poor Jalen Hurts has become here in the span of 1 year.
And you know what's funny is that the roster of Philadelphia is so much better than the Patriots, but I would take the Patriots against the 49ers 9 times out of 10. I think if they played 10 times, the Patriots beat them 9 times. And the talent discrepancy is so gigantic, but I'd still take the Patriots 9 times out of 10. It just shows you. And, 95% of that reason is May is so much better than Hurts, but regardless, they just don't play together as a team. But
the head coaching is, I don't understand what happened.
I don't understand why Sirianni thinks he's tough.
Yeah.
That's
I
like
know. The rushing A.J. Brown thing was weird.
Okay,
the whole thing.
But he does it all the time.
Yeah.
Everything around that team is strange to me. That thing seems always ready to explode. And look, they won the Super Bowl last year. There's no question about it. You don't fire Sirianni. You don't. Obviously, we'll get to coaches that shouldn't be fired, but might in a second. But the whole notion that he's like tough is because he acts tough in a way that makes me think that he's never fought anyone. Like he doesn't have the knowledge that he could lose.
Why? Because he's jawing with fans in the middle of a winning season?
He's acting like a tough guy all the time. Jawing with fans, jawing with A.J. Brown, running around, yelling at people. Like, relax. These are grown men. Like, you're going to get your ass kicked real bad. I know Big Dom's with him, who's, completely necessary because they have to have their head of security on the field at all times, catching footballs and in camera shots because, the government snipers on top of the stadium could not protect the fans. If there is going to be a terrorist attack, they need a fat old guy to really protect the team and keep things in motion. As opposed to every other team who manages to have security personnel that aren't, flashing around.
They mostly remain anonymous.
Running on the field with the team.
Somehow figure out a way to, be in the background and not obvious.
Now that
like every other team in the NFL.
Now that they've got knocked out in the first round, I wonder what those cheers. I wonder if the glaze comes off that a little bit. If he starts becoming a mascot for futility, if that maybe stops the train a little bit. That'd be my first thing this offseason, let alone getting rid of A.J. Brown or doing anything else. I'd get rid of Big Dom.
All right, let's go to the Bills Jacksonville game where Trevor Lawrence was dealing.
Dropping his Trevor, looking, still looking. Now fires toward the back of the end zone. The ball going to be caught. Touchdown, back in the end zone. Parker Washington. Trevor stuck it in there. Parker caught it for the score. How good is that?
That was the start of a wild and woolly fourth quarter there in Jacksonville. Josh Allen with the answer.
Allen in the shotgun, fakes the pass there, looks for Kincaid, and he's got him, who carries it into the end zone for the touchdown. Dalton Kincaid strikes from 15 yards out, and the Bills have the lead back again.
Yes, but not for long.
Play fake. Trevor rolling to the right, looking, dumps it to Etienne. Travis has it to the 10, broke a tackle, into the end zone, touchdown. Travis Etienne scored a 14-yard touchdown from Trevor Lawrence. Jacksonville's retaking the lead. How good is that?
Pretty good. Got the lead in the wild card weekend. 4 minutes left against the Buffalo Bills. You're at home. What could go wrong?
There's the snap, there's the surge, and I think they largely let him score on purpose. There was not much.
Yeah, that was obvious. Yeah.
Which they should have. So there was a situation where Buffalo had the ball with like a minute left on the Jacksonville 1, and they were like, should Buffalo take a knee? Which under no circumstances should you do, because you are what? Losing yardage. And every inch, every 6 inches, every foot that
changes
you get
your
behind,
play call.
Makes everything that much harder.
We were just talking about the Chargers being stopped, Herbert being stopped at the 2 instead of the 1 by Marcus Jones early in the game. Because the Chargers were at the 2-yard line, then you can't automatically run the football. You have to pass. on third down.
Right.
So, yeah, no, absolutely you score there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so they let him score, which they should have, and then I'm sure you're playing this, is when Jacksonville got the ball back, or if you don't have it, it's fine.
No, I was too busy waiting to get to the post game with Cohen.
No,
and the reporter.
I want to get to that in a second.
Yeah.
So anyway, Lawrence threw an interception. It doesn't matter. We don't need the highlight. So we're in media, so we get these media emails meant for media people, like with media debates. This happened after the game in the press conference with Liam Cohen.
I just want to tell you, congratulations on your success, young man.
Thank
you. Hold your head up, all right? You guys have had a most magnificent season.
Thank
you. You did a great job out there today.
Appreciate
so you just hold your head up, okay?
Thank
and
you,
ladies
ma'am.
and gentlemen, Duval, you the one, all
Thank
right?
you, ma'am.
keep it going. We got another season, okay?
I appreciate
Take
it.
care and much continued success to you and the entire team.
Thank you, man.
Okay, that was horrible for one reason: the Duval. Stop with like a saying and a thing. You're not even as cool as like Charleston. Like everything's wrong with you. Everything's wrong with that. You're too big to be quaint. You're too small to be a city. Everything about you seems forced and awful.
Duval, you the one.
Yeah, like that's it. Like I get it. Like young man and you're an old lady and everyone needs to feel good about themselves. That's fine. Who cares? It killed 30 seconds of time. It's that you said Duval.
Duval, you the one.
I'm never going to forget him doing that. I know
You did a great job out there today.
every eyelash move in that. Like I've studied that down to like the cock of the eyebrow, everything he did during that Duval. I know how his forehead creased during it. That big gummy head of his. He's a good coach, but I mean,
yeah,
he shouldn't have done the Duval. Duval.
Certainly not.
That's right, Jacksonville lady.
We're just playing by the rules.
It's so funny that Jacksonville has a team because
Took it to the limit.
they're playing Buffalo, and Buffalo is a small town that no one lives in. But at least Buffalo existed and manufactured things at some point. Like the idea that Buffalo seems like this metropolis, this this uniquely American metropolis where things are wheeling and dealing at. Jacksonville is, oh boy. I can't stand that they have a football team.
They got their own fight song.
I love living in Jacksonville.
This was the Jacksonville Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, this is a real thing.
Okay, so Jacksonville Chamber of Commerce made a hype video for Jacksonville with taxpayer money, I assume, to get people to move there. And this is what they made. These are not old people, ladies and gentlemen. These are like hospice old. This is like tomorrow. It's all happening. This is a Bob Weir situation. We are moments away. So this is essentially like, we want to use this low estate tax in Jacksonville. We'll let you go in Jacksonville. Save your money for your grandkids when you pass. That was just big oxygen trying to pull people in. The guys who make the canisters. Okay, Beaches, Medill, Springfield, and 5 Points. I get the Beaches part. Everything else are just words, you idiots, you old bag. Shush. I told you, shush. Will you please shush? You realize you burned everything in the oven singing this song.
Certainly not.
That's why, that's why
no
we got
chocolate chip cookies for the grandkids.
That's why we got to put you in the place that has the menu, because you're going to burn the place down sooner or later, Jacksonville.
Congratulations on your success, young man.
I don't have any problem with that. Fine, you're like an old wise lady, and you're very sweet. But then you said Duval, and you blew the whole thing up. By the way, I read the headline of this thing in one of these dumb emails that we get from, and they're like debating this lady. Like, oh, good, nice business we're in. We're having a debate about, no humor in it, a literal debate about the merits of what the woman did.
Duval, you the one.
Yeah, you know what? She gets to do that 364 days a year and 365 days a year of most days. They just happened to play a game people cared about yesterday.
Correct.
Apparently,
How did she get a press credential? She's there every week.
Yeah, for all we know, this is the head writer, the lady that covers the team.
She's the editor of the Jacksonville Free Press.
Yeah, you would have to assume that when Jerry's dad was removed from whatever position of power he had for getting the Cadillac, that this woman went into power.
You did a great job out there today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, listen. You know, I know her address, by the way, if you want to write her. It's 227.
Duval.
Right, 227 Duval Street. She has a neighbor that sometimes intercepts the mail, but
Is
she's
227 a comedy?
Yeah, it's got Marla Gibbs in her family. You'll know about it. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. We will finish up the other games of the weekend. As tonight, we will find out who the Patriots play next Sunday. They'll play next Sunday, but we don't know what time. We will have that information coming up later tonight. We'll be back in just a moment. We are Toucher and Hardy. We continue to go around the NFL, as we'll find out tonight who the Patriots play next Sunday. They will play on Sunday. And what time. They will be playing at home on Sunday, so that will be very exciting. And as I said before, if it's Houston Patriots, I can't think of a more even fight. That will be very exciting to see. But what else was going on over the weekend, Hardy?
Saturday, you had the Packers and Bears playing with the Packers. I mean, up so big in this one. I don't blame it. You know, you got other stuff you want to do on a Saturday. Even with the missed field goal at the end of the half, they're up 21-3. So you know the way this game is going. And the Packers weren't even done. Second half.
Quick toss, Golden, right side, got some blocking. Accelerates 20, spinning his way 15. Takes the tackle 10 to the 5, cuts it back. Touchdown! Touchdown, Matthew Golden. And a backbreaker delivered by the rookie out of Texas. Wow, that was awesome.
He's still on a team? My God.
That's his first touchdown of the year.
Yeah, Matthew Golden. I mean, remember during the preseason, everyone was like, watch this kid. He's going to be great. No, he was terrible all year.
That was his first touchdown of the year. My son had a friend over, and he was like, that's his first touchdown of the year. I'm like, how the hell do you know that? So here I am repeating the fact on the air, so thank you, Ken.
Yeah. So 27-16 in the fourth quarter. Packers still in control, but Chicago gets a touchdown, and they go for 2.
Snap to throw. Front left pylon of the end zone. Caught, two-pointer. Colston Loveland. What can't Colston Loveland do tonight?
Well, nothing all year until...
Same thing. Williams a strike on a two-pointer, and it is 27-24. Green Bay.
Honest to God, if you had asked me, did Colston Loveland miss the second half of the season? Was he hurt? I would have said, I don't know, probably.
And all of a sudden he's Gronkowski. So I watched the second half of this game. Caleb Williams was awful all game. And then you've never seen anyone play better quarterback. And that's not hyperbole. Like, at the end of that game, he was making throws, special throws. Now, I'd much rather have Drake May. Why? Because Drake May seems like a very normal, well-adjusted human being.
Much more consistent, too.
And that's what I mean. Emotionally consistent, physically consistent. But you can see why Caleb Williams was the number 1 overall pick in the draft. I mean, he can do stuff that's just nuts. Now, he seems to need the end of the game to get it into his head that he can do these things, but he can make throws that are... He made a throw on fourth down, which everyone's seen, where guy's got a hold of his foot. He's falling backwards. He throws the thing 40 yards on a line perfectly. He's special athletically. Interesting young man. But there's a couple things that came out of this game. At the end, Ben Johnson's saying F Green Bay.
Yeah, we kind of skipped ahead, but as you properly summed up there, Williams fantastic at the end, and in Chicago overcomes that 21-3 deficit.
25 points in the fourth quarter
to win 31-27.
And then Ben Johnson's going, F Green Bay, F Green Bay. I understand they're professional athletes and they're adults. I play Chicago twice next year. I'm killing them. Like I'm playing well on the margins in that game. Like it's a game, but it is my identity, my profession. And you're really stomping on a grave. That's pretty publicly not. This is a little bit like Patricia getting off the plane with the clown nose shirt on. Let's learn how to handle success. Because they're playing the Rams, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sunday.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
And by the way, I heard a guy in Green Bay talking about it. Last night, LaFleur met with ownership about the prospect because he's a lame duck coach. And I guess the kid that was the heir of the 49ers there's some Pelosi or something, not Pelosi, but whatever. There's some guy in charge there. And they're thinking about firing LaFleur, to which I would say, good idea for who? Who? What? It's his fault that the kicker missed a field goal and an extra point. I mean, they would have tied the game if it was a field goal.
Yeah, they were asking LaFleur about it right after the game.
Hey, Matt, you got a year left on your contract, and policy has said he doesn't like lame duck seasons. Do you expect to be back next season? Have you guys already started negotiating that deal? Or?
Yeah, with all due respect to your question, Pete, now's not the time for that. I mean, I'm just hurting for these guys. You know, I can only think about what just happened, and there'll be time for that.
It's just so funny to me that you fire Harbaugh, which maybe not even was bad for either one of them. Maybe Harbaugh even in a way wanted to leave. But if the guy makes an easy field goal, he's still the coach. He's coaching tonight. And if LaFleur's kicker can make an extra point or a field goal, if he makes both of them, they win and he's still the coach. You're a lot of fate in the failure of one player is your job. It seems so incredibly short-sighted. Like, Harbaugh put Baltimore in a position to win that game, and they didn't win it. Guy missed a field goal. Green Bay was in position and numerically should have won that game. What do you want him to do about it? Right? They fell apart in the second half. I guess they've done it a few times this season. Who do you want to come in there and coach? Who's so much better than LaFleur that's out there? It just seems really dumb. Very hair trigger of these guys.
Yeah. 7 years in Green Bay, 76 wins for LaFleur.
Yeah, it's a pretty good coach. I don't know really what you want out of the guy.
Well,
and by the way, Jordan Love, people just assume like he was going to be this great quarterback. You know, LaFleur made Jordan Love who he is. He's got a pretty good track record with quarterback.
Now, the arguments against, since we're talking about this, the arguments against are, ever since Aaron Rodgers left, LaFleur's been very much closer to 500.
Whoa. You mean when what people say is one of the top quarterbacks of all time left the franchise?
There was a drop-off in the win percentage.
Noticeable drop-off. And his playoff, he's been in 9 playoff games now. His record is 3-6.
It's not ideal, but I mean, you're firing him very late in this process, and I don't know who you're bringing in. Well, if you had a guy that you were like, can't miss, and what are you going to bring in, John Harbaugh?
No, actually, the guy
can't win in the playoff.
The guy who's getting all the interviews is their defensive coordinator, the former Boston College head coach, Jeff Hafley.
Oh, he was great with BC.
Oh, he was atrocious. Well, I mean, look, this is Boston College football. It's been a while since they've been.
He got fired from Boston College. He didn't leave to go take an NFL job. He got fired.
His best season was 7-6. That was his last year there. He was 22-26 in 4 years at BC. But he's interviewing for a head coaching job with 5 different franchises starting today.
Yeah, and he's better than Harbaugh and LaFleur. Okay.
Well, you mentioned that Ben Johnson may be getting a little ahead of himself with his celebrating, especially when he still has the Rams to look forward to. I mean, the Rams, here's a team that has a quarterback. You're down with 2 minutes left on the road against a very tough 8-9 Panthers team. In all honesty, the Panthers did look pretty good for most of this game. And you're trailing. You've got 2 minutes left. Is he going to be able to pull it off? Yeah.
Stafford has it, helmet high, settles his feet, shoots right side, leaping catch, touchdown LA! Wow! At the front, right pylon, Colby Parkinson gives the Rams the lead. An absolute dot from Stafford, 33-31, and the try coming.
There's our guy.
Yeah, the try's coming. We just call it the try.
It was a dot.
It was a dot. We just called it the try.
Dot. Was it a dart? No,
guys, the try's coming. Don't worry.
Stafford.
We'll nail the try. Don't worry.
Stafford hurt his finger in the game.
Yeah, I got a finger bent back. They saw it on the TV on the sideline or whatever. I didn't obviously know exactly what had happened. It wasn't pleasant. Wasn't great. We'll see what it is. Was obviously able to finish the game and throw it decent. Once the ball snapped, the adrenaline's pretty good. So we'll hopefully just keep it going.
And his head coach, he's only got 3 words to say when it comes to his quarterback.
It was MVP type of stuff, what he did, Nate. Good calm. I thought he redirected a couple of the protections that allowed him not to be hot where we would have been. And on all those plays, he ended up finding completions, and he got a bunch of different guys involved. I thought he saw the field really well, and that's why we're advancing, because of his leadership.
Yeah, that's why I don't shave sometimes. To protect against being too hot. I don't want to give off too much of a vibe.
That's why you don't. Oh,
It's a protection not to be too hot.
I got you.
Hey, buddy, you think that's the MVP? Well, you've not been watching over here? We got our own MVP. Drake May. He's the MVP. Take that.
Yeah.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it, hot shot.
I know it doesn't count toward the consideration, but check the tape from last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
So now, do you want the Rams in Chicago in prime time on Sunday night? Or do you want the Patriots game on Sunday night? Because those are the two games.
Those are both great games. I mean, they're both great games.
So I'm just
But I
wondering-
would think Rams and Bears, L.A., Chicago markets, I would think that you would put that in the prime
And if
time.
you give the Rams the 3 p.m. kick, it's more like noon Pacific time, so maybe you give them until the evening.
Yeah.
Because they're the West Coast team playing in the Central Time Zone.
But they did play a Saturday game, so maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? In terms of, market size, I mean, I obviously would want the 2 and 3 biggest markets in the prime time window.
Bigger markets, you have, two great quarterbacks.
But that would be a huge slight to New England.
Yes. And I think that's something that we as Patriots fans
And
should
that
get really
I do
angry
not
about.
like.
Can Adam, I don't mean to tell you to do your job, but if we could eke out maybe about 15 breaks this week to argue if the Patriots got screwed if they don't get the night thing.
Top of the hour every hour, rest of the week. Slot it.
I think we all need to be very upset.
I want an enemy, an invisible enemy.
Hey, it'll give me a chance to be pissed at the commissioner again.
Let's get mad at the networks and the commissioner. They're out to screw us.
Disrespect topic number 2.
Ugh. I do not dislike this Patriots team. I do not like this Efton Chisholm fellow.
I know you don't like
With his
Efton
dumb
Chisholm,
throw.
but for the rest of the team, they are an inherently likable bunch.
I mean, May's almost like too perfect with that wife of his and everything. He's like just like a perfect
Well, now
guy.
she's eating pizza too. She's doing a taste test.
I got no problems with her. May is like just he's just so beautifully bland. He's just like he's like someone that your daughter brings home and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like my dream. I can't imagine it's yours, but okay. He seems like he won't make a fuss. Like he's not too much problems, but I mean, if you're content with this life, complete and utter monotony, we're fine.
I don't know anything about him, and it seems like there's nothing to know, but I can tell you this much. He's not a freak, and that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we'll have age-appropriate grandkids, and you guys are pretty much going to be together till the end because ain't no one moving anywhere.
Yeah.
That's honestly the way I'd feel. I'd be like, Zoe, really? Okay. Oh, this is what we're doing. I'm all for it. It's like kind of the parent's dream, but you don't understand kind of like there's no danger, huh? You don't want a little toot.
Nothing?
You don't want like a little pushback, huh? Okay.
And of course tonight the Texans will be in Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers at 8:15 to wrap up Wild Card.
I'll tell you, if the Texans win that game, that's a perfect Sunday. That is a perfect Sunday of football. That is 8 quarters of complete, no job-related, nothing. If I was a longshoreman, I'd be watching those games. I can't wait. Oh, boy, I hope the Texans win. I really do. And I know if you're a Patriots fan, you don't because the Steelers are much easier, but that is as close to a push. The Patriots at home against the Texans.
I think Rodgers is feeling it. I think the Texans should win. I think Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he was electric last week. I mean, he really was.
But it's only going to take, I think, a couple of plays, and I think he's going to make a couple of plays.
Well, he's got DK Metcalf back, which people are now acting as like this second coming of Calvin Johnson or something. That first he's going to take over this game. Like DK Metcalf's fine. He's not the best receiver in the NFL. Go ahead.
Just go back to that Rams-Chicago game at Soldier Field on Sunday. I happened to look ahead at the weather. Rams, of course, an indoor team. The high temperature this coming Sunday in Chicago, 10 degrees.
Well,
wind chills, projected wind chills, 10 below.
They're screwed. Stafford, no experience in the NFC North at all. He's absolutely a dead man. He's never played in the element.
He's never played in Chicago.
And that's not an indoor
he's
stadium.
never played
Detroit, indoor team, damn it.
He's never played in. He didn't play in Green Bay twice a year or once a year. He didn't play in Chicago once a year.
No. He's completely a weather weather quarterback.
I don't understand what your problem is. This is clearly an advantage for Chicago.
Right, because
Clearly.
Caleb Williams, has got that long history at USC and growing up where he did. I don't even know where he grew up, but I think Stafford will be fine in the elements. I think he's okay.
It's going to make that finger ache even more, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know how the weather affects things like that. You know what? You're right. Chicago all the way. It's John making the statement about them not being able to play in the weather, that Rams team. Not the smartest thing he's ever said.
It's a good point, John.
Thank you.
That's
Appreciate it. Fred.
Nakua's like from Hawaii or something. His arms are going to fall off. Boy, he dropped the touchdown pass in that
he
game.
did.
I mean, he's fantastic, but holy moly, he had one right in his hands. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
break. Tom, you've been very, very patient, but you've gotten this wonderful show to enjoy while you were on hold, so I cannot give you full
Thanks,
credit. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. I have two things I'd like to do. The first thing I wanted to know is I don't understand why when regular games are played on TV, you got Apple TV, you got Amazon Prime, and all these other channels covering games kind of screwing us. But when it comes to the playoffs, we will always be able to watch national channels, ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. And I totally could not watch the Green Bay Packers and Bears game because Amazon Prime covered that game.
Well, hearing your
was a hell
voice,
of a
that
game.
seems shocking. You couldn't figure that out.
Whoa, come on.
And then I wanted to do this. Please let me do this, okay?
Yeah,
this
you
is
bet,
my
baby.
rendition. This is my rendition of the Eagles fight song.
good.
It goes like this: "Cry, Eagles, cry on the way back to Philly. Cry, Eagles, cry. Give up a touchdown, 2 or 3. You couldn't hit them high, you couldn't hit them low. Watch your Eagles go. Cry, Eagles, cry on the way back to Philly. Eagles, the Eagles."
All right, there you go, Tom. Thank you. And now that you are no longer listening, oof. All right. If you're Prime, you got to be thinking we're in dire straits if that guy couldn't figure out how to watch the game.
He waited 3 hours to do that.
Well, yeah, he wrote it down, too.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? Good for him.
Maybe this was the...
It's because fly, Eagles fly, you see.
Maybe this was
I didn't get it.
Maybe this is the plan all along for Amazon and Netflix and the other carriers. I don't care anymore. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. When I turn the game on, I want it to be on right away. I don't want to have to, who's watching? Is it Marcy? Is it Katie? Is it Cal? By the way, I don't have a profile set up on Amazon. The dog has one. Somebody set up a profile for the dog.
That's fun.
Daddy does not, Rob, Dad does not appear on any of the profile options for any of our services.
I would
was not
imagine
set up for me.
no matter who the profile is on Amazon, that it's pretty much the game is the first thing
It's
regardless.
the first thing, so I don't care. But more to the point, I don't care about having to go to the streaming service anymore. It bothered me like the first half dozen times I did it, and now it's like, especially for the playoffs, I'm not going to be bouncing around to other games. I don't care about not being able to switch the channel off, so who cares?
Well, yeah, and you have the package, which John somehow doesn't get, but you have the package, so you're used to watching it on YouTube, and you're used to watching it on television.
And that's part of it, too, because I watched so much on YouTube this past season that it's really desensitized me.
Right, and it's just a matter of pressing an auxiliary button to get back to anything on regular broadcast.
Exit. Just hit the exit.
See, I got to go I probably could do it an easier way, but I got auxiliary 2 is the cable, and auxiliary 1 is the streaming services.
Well, I go app within the Comcast.
Whoa. Mind blown. I have a parody song too, as a matter of fact.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Let's hear it.
I'm working on it. It's to Bohemian Rhapsody. It requires a lot of production.
Need your guitar?
Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah. Adam, hand me my guitar. I have to make you uncomfortable for the next 2.5 minutes. All right.
It was more like 6.
It seemed like an eternity, but it happened. That did happen. All right.
Or if you just have hobbies you're going to embark on in the new year, maybe you could talk about those at length, because that seems to be a thing that other radio hosts do.
Yes, and then I'll give up on them and switch. All right.
Man, if something tells me you wouldn't be bad with a brush. You know your way around a canvas. Take up painting for a while.
There's no wrong way to paint. Let's just say that.
All right.
I mean, it's all a numbers game and getting the right eyes on it. That's all it is. It insists upon itself. It's a snowball situation.
Make sure you got a lot of liquid white, man. You got to cover the canvas with liquid white first.
See, just you saying that makes me not want to use liquid white. Maybe I'll use found objects and use no white at all.
Okay.
Dimensional painting.
I like that.
You know what it is? I don't even know what it is until I start crafting.
Right.
And then it's going to happen. I'll tell you, I've been told I need built-ins in my house, which is going to require a guy coming over and seeing that situation. I got to feel that runs well into the thousands of dollars.
I wonder what the built-in situation is going to be like 10 years from now. We already know what the open floor plan situation is like. Turns out, bit of a mistake, especially if you have kids and you want any quiet in your house whatsoever. Ooh, open floor plan. Everybody just has access to everything. That's not good. That's not as good as we thought it was.
Well, it was like the Brady Bunch house. It was kind of like to get rid of that, like when there was like lots of wood just hanging down and disrupting sight lines. And then they kind of went too far with it.
Yeah, a little bit too far. But with the built-ins, oh, why? So you can shove a bunch of crap in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who told you needed built-ins?
My ex-wife said you should get built-ins because I was thinking I need to do something with the space. You know, I don't have enough to hang on the walls. There needs to be something with the space.
Well, you do have stuff to hang on the walls. You just haven't hung it.
That stuff's in the garage because I'm getting built-ins. Those were shelves.
Okay.
It was smart not to put them up.
Uh-huh.
See, I'm playing the long game. All right, so we'll be back. Bob Sosi, who called the game last night, will be joining us in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Herbert 6 times in the win. Caleb Chason and Milton Williams had 2 sacks apiece. Patriots are headed to round 2 of the postseason. They'll play the winner of tonight's Houston Steelers game in Pittsburgh. That game will be this Sunday at either 3 p.m. or 6:30. Buffalo will go to top seed Denver Saturday after getting a late Josh Allen touchdown run to win in Jacksonville 27-24. Also, the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles are out. They lost at home to San Francisco yesterday 23-19. The Niners now go to top seeded Seattle on Saturday. That means Chicago hosts the LA Rams on Sunday. In hockey news, the Bruins beat Pittsburgh 1-0 at TD Garden. Victor Arvidsson, the only goal of the game. Bruins play Detroit at TD Garden tomorrow night. They've also re-signed defenseman Jonathan Aspero. It is a 2-year contract extension. And the Celtics had yesterday off, but they visit the last place Indiana Pacers tonight. Jaylen Brown has been listed as doubtful with lower back spasms. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Rapid Flow Sewer and Drain Cleaning. Have fans coming into your bar or restaurant for the playoffs? Get the permanent fix so you don't have a sewer backup on game day. 800-286-FLOW or rapidflowinc.com. One call solves it all. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
New England plays here.
Down the right side, there's a separation. Yeah. Touchdown pass. Yes. Perfect dive from Drake May.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Why do people listen to Touch Your
Because it's a thing.
All right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
No idea what you're talking about.
Here's more of The Thing on the Sports Hub.
Welcome back to the NFL playoffs. The Patriots with a first down and 10 from the 2. May drop back in the end zone. Checks it down. Catch by Ramondre Stevenson. Running room to the 20. 25, 30. Left side 40. Outside the hash marks to the 50. Eventually caught on a catch and run.
Ramondre for 48-yarder.
Drake on a deep drop. Steps up. May pumps. He's going to run across midfield to the 45, 40. Right down running to the 30. May with a cut right to the 25, 20. He's tackled at the 17-yard line. The kick by Borregales is good. So the Patriots get another field goal. Drake is under center. Slides left. Throws it to the end zone. Hunter Henry makes the catch. He's in. Near pylon. Touchdown. Patriots.
That's what I'm talking about. Look at this place. They're going bonkers. What a throw. And a 28-yard dagger.
We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Bobby Sos, Bob Sosi, is the voice of the New England Patriots on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Patriots Radio Network. He is kind enough to join us after the call of last night's 16-3 victory over the Los Angeles Chargers. Bob Sosi, hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, Freddie T. I'm Rob Hardy Poole and John Wallach. Good to see you guys.
Well, now that you've blown Hardy's real identity, we're starting off at a...
Thank you, Robert Sosi. How do you like it?
I only know that because I heard him run down the itinerary for the upcoming cruise.
Yeah, you going to that 4:15?
Did you not know my real name until I said that out loud, Bob?
I always wondered about the Hardy part.
Don't. It's not a good story.
No,
I'm not telling.
Read the book.
Yeah,
I mean, it's 2 chapters. All right, Bob, I'm asking you because I don't know. Were the Patriots doing anything special in the first half that got Herbert so shook? Because he seemed to be affected by a rush that wasn't there in the beginning of the game.
Might have been what the Patriots are doing. Might have been what happened in the regular season in all the games that he played in absorbing 129 hits. And, the problems on their offensive line have been well documented. And, it's funny because people have talked about the absence of the tackles, but I was chatting with the guys in their broadcast booth before the game, and they were talking about the guys who had been out there fairly regularly on the interior of the defense. And a big concern was the Patriots' interior pass rush against those guys because they've been so poor. Becton, the former Jet first-rounder, Fred at guard, and Bozeman, who at one point was a good center for the Baltimore Ravens. So I don't know if it was, the kind of the residual effects with some pressure early, but yeah, he didn't look good all night. Never comfortable. Even when there were times where he rolled out to try to extend plays, I thought there was some indecision where he might have been able to run and pick up some first downs. Some of the throws on the move were poor. They were underthrown. But also I would say, too, that they didn't have a running game. It was Hampton, their lead back, first-round pick, played 2 snaps, came into the game with a bad ankle. I wasn't impressed at all with their receiving core, including the tight end Gadsden.
Yeah.
And, Keenan Allen's had a good career, compiler of great stats, but I think it said a lot last night. There was one point in the second half where Herbert's getting battered back there, just pummeled, and he throws the ball across the middle, and Keenan Allen's coasting across the middle. Very little effort, certainly not going full speed.
Trying to
make that play.
Yeah, Keenan Allen, and it looked like he didn't even make an effort on that 4th down pass. It looked like
beginning of the game. Yeah,
the beginning of the game, he didn't really seem. What do I know? He just, from what I saw, he didn't seem completely engaged. And we're on the same page with Herbert. It did seem like he was afraid of a rush that in the second half was certainly there. It didn't really seem like that in the first half. And it was odd because they were running designed runs for him. And so it was like, if the kid's afraid to get hit, now you're making him get hit by design.
Yeah.
It seemed like an odd choice of play calling.
And speaking of an odd choice of play calling, I think that was the theme that was pretty consistent, just reading some of the reaction from the Charger media and some of the questions. I mean, Jim Harbaugh was asked in this press conference immediately after the game, are you going to stick with Greg Roman as your offensive coordinator going forward? And I heard Greg Bedard on the postgame show talking about Roman, and he's a guy who's had a long career as an NFL offensive coordinator, and he's been with Harbaugh at Stanford and San Francisco and now LA. But his expertise really seems to be in his design of the run game. And there are a lot of questions about just passing concepts. And Zoe is critical, too, especially when you go back to the 1st and goal to go from the 10. And you're right with talking about the design runs for Herbert, just that entire sequence of those plays. So I think it's something that, has been a storyline in L.A., and we saw it firsthand here in last night's game. But I don't want that to take anything away from the Patriots' defensive performance. I thought they were really aggressive with the blitzing. They had been blitzing more of late. I thought there were times where the corners played tighter coverage. I mean, almost immediately, Carlton Davis, paid for it a little bit because he kind of jumped the route looking to break up a ball. But I thought they were more aggressive in that respect. So give them a lot of credit, too, for exploiting those problems the Chargers had.
Yeah, and watching Herbert and his uncomfortability at the point where he was, on the one slide, he looked like Willie Mays Hayes at the end of the American Express commercial. He's got one leg behind him. He's got one leg like even the slide when he's giving himself up, he didn't look like he was comfortable. But back to the Patriots defense here, because they deserve, most of the accolades after that performance. And how they were able to blitz the quarterback last night without disguising it, without, doing any stunting, it didn't look like, Bob. They were just bringing guys up to the line and saying, we're sending the house again, time after time after time. And successful with it because, I don't know. Is it because the receivers were also having an off night along with Herbert? Is it because of the problems on the offensive line? I mean, they just kept doing it, and the Chargers didn't seem to have an answer for it.
Yeah, Hardy, especially as the game went along, I think, the fourth quarter, they were teeing off. I thought there were definitely some zone blitzes where they rushed guys from the second or third level and they dropped linemen in coverage more so early on. There were some loops. I think Anthony Jennings got to the quarterback on a tackle end game where he loops around the defensive tackle and the tackle goes outside. He comes back through the middle and he was untouched and steamrolled Herbert on that particular play. I think part of it is, again, preparation when it comes to play calling, anticipation, having answers. They talk about that all the time, coaches, quarterbacks, the insiders in our business about, giving the quarterback answers to the test. Part of it, too, could be, I just think, the inability of some of those guys to get open for the Chargers. Look at their tight ends are really big, beefy guys. And Gadsden is a guy, again, is a second-generation pro. His father played for the Dolphins, who seems like he's got potential, but it's been a very erratic rookie season for him. And as far as the receivers go, I mean, Quentin Johnston, high pick, has had an unimpressive start to his career the last few years. I mean, McConkey, I thought, was well covered last night for the most part. he wasn't running free. I thought the Patriots did a really good job on him, especially. And Keenan Allen, a guy who's been a big third down player for them this season. They had one of the best third down offenses in the league, and the Patriots, I think, allowed only one third down conversion after the Chargers had a league high 115 during the regular season. So I think it's probably a combination of a lot of different things. And also I think at the point of the game in the fourth quarter where they were just beaten, they were completely overwhelmed and Herbert was beaten.
I wanted to get to Drake May, and obviously he didn't look like himself last night. And I'm wondering from where you sat, was it more, first time under the bright lights, first playoff game because he made some real questionable decisions in the pocket, or was it that the Chargers defense, which was very good during the regular season, carried that over?
Well, I think found probably a combination of a few different things. I thought, the intercepted throw, it's a good play by the defensive lineman. He's being blocked and he reaches up with the hand and matches the release of May very well and deflects that pass. It's intercepted. I thought that, there were times where Drake was inaccurate early. Then the two, problems with the fumbles in the pocket, reminiscent of early this season, particularly week 3 in the Pittsburgh game. And, perhaps that's a situation, first playoff game, maybe trying to get the offense going, amped up a little bit, try to do a little too much. Particularly I think the second one because actually I take that back. The ball when the ball was fumbled because it got hit, and instead of securing it and tucking away and going down in field goal range, again, where the situation, which he's been outstanding at this year, especially as the season's gone along, he tries to continue to play and then has the ball knocked down. You hope that it's a case where it's his first playoff game. Now he's gone through it. It is a good defense. I think the match coverages for the Chargers gave a lot of people problems. It looked like the Patriots figured them out in the fourth quarter. But also that pass rush is really good. Owe to Palutu, and those are two guys that had good years for LA. So they've been able to get to quarterbacks pretty regularly, especially when they get you down in those third and long situations. But he'll learn from it. Hopefully, in next week, I would anticipate that Drake May will be a lot sharper from the start.
Well, that's what bothers me, and I'm with you, Bob. Is the interception? It gets deflected. That's going to happen. But when he's trying to make something happen, and I don't even mind that. But when you've got hands on you. When you know that, it's not like you didn't see these guys. He can feel them. He can feel their hands on his body. He knows that he's about to get wrapped up. And there are hands, looking to do exactly what they did, which is bat the ball loose. That's when I'm troubled by what he did by not just securing the football and going down with it, especially when he's in field goal range. He situationally aware is one thing, but just not securing the football in those situations, that bothered me.
And it's a departure from what we've seen as the year's gone along, because I think one of the noticeable areas of improvement for him in those situations when he's in the pocket, two hands on the football. And we've seen that whether he's moving up eventually to run or throw. And certainly, that's why you wonder about just the setting, the situation, being a playoff game, being amped up, maybe trying to do a little too much for an offense that was struggling in what was really a rock fight, for lack of a better cliche, after last night's first half of play and into the third quarter.
All right. In terms of the no call on the
on the blow to the head.
Milton Williams.
I was going to say, when Milton Williams bludgeoned Justin Herbert on that play, I didn't hear what you and Zoe had to say about it at the time. I imagine it was tough to ignore, though.
They talk about the whole weight-bearing thing. The defensive lineman's not supposed to, land on the quarterback. I don't know how that falls into the framework of that rule, which we often see enforced as a roughing the passer call. I don't know if by that point the officials have become immune to the all the hits that Herbert was taking.
He's just getting hit all game.
At that point,
one more slap to the head. What difference does it make?
At that point, it more looked like he had been hit a lot than he had been hit a lot. Like at that point, he was still. Look, there was a point where I was like, pull yourself out of the game because he was getting killed at the end. But yeah, go ahead.
Are you talking about the hand to the head?
When Milton Williams hit him in the head and that was the sack when he hit him in the head.
I was thinking of the last sack that he had.
No.
This is earlier in the game.
I was going to say, by then they were just like get him off the field.
We're talking about the obvious missed call that would have kept the.
Well, it would have kept 3 points off the board. It would have been 3-3 at halftime at best case scenario for the Patriots.
I think Zoe's rationale in watching the replays that he was being blocked. He had his hand up and he's being blocked into the quarterback. I certainly, taking a longer look at it and, putting myself in a position of the Chargers broadcaster, I would have thought, that's got to be a penalty.
Are you telling me that Zoe thought it was a good no call? I find
I think Zoe's on-air commentary. That's how it was related to Williams being blocked. I really didn't
blocked, so his hand hit the top of his head.
Very much, to be honest with
you. No, all right. Well, it was bad. All right, so
I would feel if I was on the other side.
I think Hardy was setting you up. It was a blown call. Okay, so but look, I really hope that Houston wins tonight because that's really just a pick 'em. I think at that point, but Houston's. I mean, they got a real pass rush. And the Steelers do too, but the left side of that offensive line was not good last night. And that's just something that they're going to have to try to mitigate. How big a problem do you think that is? And, how much do you think they'll devote to kind of fixing that, by scheme in terms of when they face a good pass rush, a really good pass rush, either team that they face next week?
Well, Fred, I mean, one of the challenges for that offensive line from the preseason on has been dealing with some of the stunts. Particularly, when I talked about it a little bit earlier with the Anthony Jennings sack, where you have the end, looping around and working in concert with the defensive tackle, and that's been an issue for them, kind of a sneaky problem for them during the course of the year, because I think the offensive line has been so much more improved over the course of the year. But it comes down to communication. To hear the linemen talk about it, it's a big part of it. I know that, Greg Bedard asked Mike Vrabel this past week about Ben Brown, whether or not he would remain in the starting lineup as the left guard when Jared Wilson was ready to come back. And as we saw, true to Mike's words during the week, Wilson was out there last night as the starter. I talked to a former Patriots offensive lineman late last week, and he kind of felt that, Ben Brown should be out there at left guard. So I don't know if it's going to lead to any personnel changes, but it is certainly an area that has to be cleaned up. And you're absolutely right. The Chargers have a good defense. I think the Texans, from what I've seen of them, they have a vicious defense. I mean, what they did against Josh Allen, 8 sacks in that game, that's one that certainly stands out. And what they did to Herbert and the Chargers, a few weeks ago, it's a very good defense with a lot of playoff experience, even for a young team. And I think their offense is under C.J. Stroud. It was actually struggling for much of the year with Stroud. Davis Mills kind of got them going, and then since Stroud has come back and taken back over the quarterback position, they've been a lot better. So I think that would be a really difficult test. Certainly one the Patriots can pass with a victory in the end. But that's a team that's really I think a study and a team that really gets after you, but also plays with an intensity and a physicality that the few teams in this era play with. I think the Patriots have done that at times this year, certainly true to Mike Vrabel's identity.
Yeah, they're at home. They certainly won't be overmatched. But as in your position, just out of curiosity, I know Pittsburgh's much more likely to beat Pittsburgh, I would guess. Who do you personally want to see, just as a fan of the game and as a broadcaster?
Well, I think what you just said is probably why I'd like to see the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, so you're one of them. Okay, very good, Bob. Thank you.
Your time is done.
That being said, too, I do feel like you want to beat the best team, and I think, like when a guy gets hurt as a star player for another team,
right,
win that game, you're going to take it and you're going to be happy about the outcome if that's your team that prevails. But at the same time, like, you'd rather beat the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. You'd rather beat the Houston Texans, coming in at full strength, in my opinion, than the Steelers with the hobbled Aaron Rodgers and a team that really somehow won that division, and
somehow missed field goal.
One that beat you early in the season when you really dominated the game from the second quarter on, and you wound up defeating yourselves with those 5 turnovers. But all that being said, Fred, if the Patriots win next Sunday, I'll be happy just the same.
Yeah, I mean, because I'll tell you, next Sunday, having Bears, Rams, Texans, Patriots, that's a very good Sunday of football. That would be very exciting, and that would be great. You're watching that no matter if you got a horse in the race or not. So, all right, Bob Stosse, excellent job on the call last night, sir. Thank you as always. We'll talk to you next week.
I appreciate it, guys. Glad we're good to talk again next week.
There you go. Thanks, the great Bob Stosse. We had a call that said Fred's wrong about Herbert, and I desperately wanted to take it because I don't know what I possibly could have said that was wrong, and I wanted to hear what I was wrong about. But they've left us.
Call back.
Yeah.
Call back.
Was he good? Was he? I mean, they weren't getting any pressure on him at the beginning of the game, and he was reacting as if he was getting hit.
He had a bad day. That got worse in the second half.
I would like to hear a debate about him how the first half wasn't his fault.
No, and this is now a pattern with him. 0-3 in the playoffs. He hasn't looked good for the balance of the last 2.
Yeah, and there's not looking good like May didn't look good last night, right?
No. But Herbert threw 4 interceptions. His previous playoff game was terrible. His team was out of it in the first half, and last night he was seeing ghosts.
Yeah,
so
like May was a winning quarterback last night, not just the literal sense of it. Like May, it never seemed out of his reach. He never seemed to be like in over his head.
Most importantly, May made mistakes and was able to reel it back in and produce in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it never got away from him, right? Like
Yes.
he made the interception's not his fault. Like he made mistakes in inopportune times.
But there he was at the end of the game throwing a great touchdown pass, great touch pass to put the game away.
Right, yeah. You're going to throw interceptions. You're even going to fumble occasionally, but like it's just falling apart completely. If you just watched the end of the game, you'd feel sorry for Herbert because he was like a rag doll and there was nothing he could do about it. At the end, there was nothing he could do about it. But I'll tell you that first half, and I give Patriots ton of credit. I mean, they were doing something to him, but he was. I've never seen. I very rarely see a veteran quarterback that frazzled when nothing's happening. Right? There's no like Myles Garrett even that you have to like look around for.
That's
There's
the
like
thing.
nothing going on.
Yeah.
And you're losing your mind back there. It was really something to behold. I mean, but look, who wants to see him play again in the playoffs? So it's good that they're out of there. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
All right, if you've been...
idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
All right. The Toucher and Hardy email bit is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. You understand? Don't just send an email. Call all 7-617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. And last night was a big Patriots victory. If you'd like to email us, you can email us. Find our email addresses at 98 or no, Jesus, with the ads. Find our email addresses on the 985thesportshub.com website, or you can find us on socials at Toucher and Hardy. Nick will be putting videos of us just simply discussing the game, which will be met with either indifference or incredible vitriol, which is completely unwarranted. But nonetheless, those will be up there. The 98.5. If you want to read interesting comments and people arguing with Blind Scott, and by the way, Alf and Blind Scott are on hold. I will not take either of them today. I apologize.
I was going to say, Alf. Alf hasn't called today.
It was a win. Why not Alf?
We took Alf last week well after a win, and that is his allotted time for the week. And Blind Scott didn't go to the boat show to meet Hardy, so there's
that's his fault.
Oh, yeah.
Blind
He's
Scott
being punished.
Is on a huge time. Blind Scott, we're joking. Please don't start emailing about being on a timeout. And then if you want to follow us on socials, at Toucher and Hardy, or you can at Hardy985, or I on Instagram, at Fred Toucher, where you can yell and scream all you want, to all your heart's content, and call me homosexual slurs based on me not liking Efton Chisholm celebrations, which there is quite a bit of. The insults running very, very anti-gay, despite the fact that I am not a homosexual, but nonetheless don't like that language.
No. Can I share with you an email I got last week that I didn't want to share until something came of it, but now that there are developments, I can read it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Greetings, Hardy. Buddha is fundraising this year to grow Youth Ultimate in the Boston area. You know what Buddha is, don't you?
Yes, he is a man who taught us how to get inner peace.
No, the Boston Ultimate Disc Alliance. Okay? We're talking 3,000 active members, 6,000 strong depending on the year and the tournament signups. I mean, this is one of the largest, maybe outside of Seattle, the largest collection of amateur ultimate players in the world, okay? The Boston Ultimate Disc Alliance. We have a silent auction going on. Any chance we could get a signed headshot or signed disc? You might be the second most famous ultimate player behind MKBHD, which I had to look up, who is a TikToker, influencer, and also an ultimate player. Signed, Joe Switzer, Buddha President.
Wow.
So I emailed Joe back, of course, telling him that I was humbled and honored beyond words. And, how do we do this? Joe Switzer, over the weekend, traveled to my home and brought with him not one but two.
You're insane.
2 discs, one of which I signed in his presence.
You are just insane.
For the authentication purposes and for the progeny of said collectible item.
You're like a normal person who I like immensely, but you do these bizarre things.
Joe came into my home, sat with Marcy and Katie and myself, and we had a nice conversation.
And then he pulled out a revolver, and your son had to stop him from taking out the family.
You couldn't have met him at a restaurant or a gas station or something?
He lives in the East, and he lives in the same town as Cedric Maxwell. I think it's safe, okay?
Oh, of course.
So
we did know that Jeffrey Dahmer was in that part of Milwaukee where they would eat people.
There is a signed disc that will soon be on the auction website, and when it goes live, I will share it with you. Please bid on this signed disc. I don't want it to go without any bids.
And any money you had allocated to charity, send it the way of the Frisbee people, because they
the disc.
They're trying to
Disc
grow
people.
Youth Ultimate.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing to grow the game?
Apparently, I lack that nobility that is required.
Yeah.
I do want to get to this McAfee thing. This is.
I was
going
to save this for the stack, but yeah.
Nah, let's do it now.
Okay.
All right. So this old lady was on talking to Liam Cohen in the press conference after the Jacksonville game. Do you have that audio?
Yes, I do. And suffice it to say, people have been very upset about
Right. And I did say that while you're looking for it, we get these like intermedia like industry things, and I'm like, this is so dumb.
Yeah.
This has become contentious, but play the audio.
I just want to tell you, congratulations on your success, young man.
Thank
you. Hold your head up, all right? You guys have had a most magnificent season.
Thank
you. You did a great job out there today.
Appreciate
so you
it.
just hold your head up, okay?
Thank
and
you,
ladies
ma'am.
and gentlemen, Duval, you the one, all
Thank
right?
you, ma'am.
keep it going. We got another season, okay?
I appreciate
Take
it.
care and much continued success to you and the entire team.
Thank you, ma'am.
And what's interesting is that was a 25-year-old white man just playing Malona from the Good Times, giving an inspirational speech to JJ. But I'll tell you this, is that the only problem with that is, of course, the Duval part, which is insisting
Duval,
on
you the one.
Jacksonville being some kind of area with something, which it is not. It is
Duval.
It's not like Savannah or Charleston or even like a even Mississippi coastal kind of cool Southern vibe. It's not a cesspool of Bubba the Love Sponge like Tampa. It's an area devoid of anything other than just earth. It has no personality.
You did a great job out there today.
Yes, when Leonard Skinner was tragically taken out, that pretty much did it for Jacksonville until Fred Durst came around, and they're responsible for that.
Nothing else about that entire exchange bothered you other than
No,
Duval, you the one.
Yeah. The Duval thing is idiotic. The lady speaking to the man is of no consequence to me, but this riled the fun punter Pat McAfee out of his slumber. And I've thought about this lately. Pat McAfee's whole career is because it was novel that there was a punter talking. It really was. Like the media would like give him a mic, and he'd be like, "Look at the punter trying to be funny." Everyone else, usually the special teams guys, are kind of to themselves. Look at this. This punter is telling like bad jokes. This is super fun. And even
the punter is worthy of a mention somehow.
And to be honest with you, if McAfee punted for the Patriots and he was acting like that, we would have had him on as guest and probably had a pretty good time with him, but it would just been the novelty of him being the punter. Like if Gostowski wasn't literally shaken to the core, afraid to upset Belichick during our interviews, self-admittedly, I mean, we would have had fun with him, but he was so nervous that he was going to piss off Belichick. All right, this is what Pat McAfee took away from this situation. This has been given to me. This is his writing, because he's not been able to express this verbally yet.
Just like I guess they call it journaling.
Love seeing these sports journalists getting capitalized, absolutely buried for being curmudgeon bums. Obviously, not all of them, all in caps. He's taken to Trump. But a capitalized large percentage of these hate sports. They hate what sports are for people, happiness. They hate what sports are for society, unifier. They're political journalists by nature who've preyed on sports because they saw it as an easier path to quote unquote make it. Their days are numbered. My show being broadcast on ESPN 10 hours a week with zero creative say from any quote-unquote journalism school puppets is living proof of that. Now, so what are you saying? That the people of ESPN have to keep their hands out because they would ruin the joy of your show? They said, hey, Pat, guess what? Your show is way too safe and joyous. We can't have this on the network. Please. And by the way, you know how your show became famous is letting Rodgers ramble about politics uninterrupted for an hour at a time, you idiot.
Yes.
That's the whole thing. You were racking up hits on YouTube because of Aaron Rodgers. Jesus Christ, way to make this about yourself. It's like when Reiner died. Now we have a 2 hours, zero creative. Like he's this like incredible bad boy for the Disney Corporation. And by the way, he's not the one being controversial. He just swears and is oafish. The one taking real strays is Stephen A. Smith. Now, he's got balls on him. All right? Zero creative say from journalism school puppets is living proof of that, and that's why they attack me as much as possible. I'm happy the world is starting to see what they truly are. What, through this woman? So you're like the woman in the press conference? Okay. Why would Disney have a problem with that? Why would anyone have a problem with that? What network's going to censor that woman? She said nothing. It was banal. The only offensive thing was the use of the word Duval. Now, we as a society have to stop taking these particular humans seriously. He's saying people that insult him.
Oh.
Their opinions and thoughts are coming from a place of wanting to destroy sports. That is exactly what it is. And they've been very successful, the way the media has covered these sports and destroyed them. And the NFL is very vulnerable to the and if you ask the NFL, though, please stop covering us. It's not joyous enough.
He's on the wall. He's protecting what's right. Clearly, you're missing the point.
Sports are the greatest thing on earth. I mean, they really are. I mean, whoever's been at the birth of a child, that is, you truly see the meaning of baseball. These mother effers, because this guy is, but he says it because, he shoots from the hip and he's allowed to swear, which is the great creative freedom he's been given.
Right.
He is such an idiot, and I can't stand him or any of you who like him. Have no idea, and they never will get it. Yeah, that's right. This is like Eddie Trunk talking about the Super Bowl halftime show not having heavy metal. Like his big stance in life is that the sports journalists are too mean. And he's this unifier of people on earth because he does a $100,000 place kick on a pregame show. Also, thank you, Lynn Jones, for setting up a situation for me and all of us on how Liam Cohen, a man who might be a... And there's an animal emoji. Goat. When he's done, handles compliments during one of the most miserable moments. He handled it with class and humility. Well, if the woman said to me, keep your head up, you know what I would have done? Get this lady out of here.
Right, exactly.
She's complimenting
Hold your
me.
head up, all right?
He handled it with class and humility, unlike most who when you know who wouldn't have. There's truly awful people like Belichick that might have gone, ugh. But yeah, usually when someone says, hey, you did a good job, keep your head up, your instinct is not to verbally berate them. But I guess for McAfee, this is some kind of Martin Luther King situation where Liam Cohen somehow held it together while a woman complimented him and told him he did a good job.
You guys have had a most magnificent season.
Feels like some journalism was actually done there. That's
he does not like it when people make fun of him, man, at all.
But he's right. There's no celebrating of sports going on in the world.
And what
there's no one's putting these guys on a pedestal. Nobody is going out of their way to make them stars and to pay extra attention to them. So McAfee, good job pointing that out.
Sports are at risk. They are.
Yeah.
All of them.
Well, they put the Golden Globes up against them last night, and it's like, I don't know which way to turn. I mean, they're finally honoring these great podcasts. I was telling Hardy, Amy Poehler won Best Podcast. Hardy told me, and I'm like, if you would have told her 10 years ago that's what the Golden Globe she was going to get, she would have been like, oh boy,
that
she took a wrong turn somewhere. And I like Amy Poehler a lot. I think she's very funny, but it's just a sad state of the entertainment industry that she's got an interview show that she's getting awards for now. It's not even on TV. So Pat McAfee, does he he's got to bother everyone, correct? This isn't something that people are going is good, correct? This is annoying.
He's a moron, Fred.
I know you hate him because you're like me.
No, but I mean, but let's not bury the lead. Like we talk about him a lot, but he is a moron.
That's the thing is, are you jealous of him? Like, he's a very good businessman and he makes a tremendous amount of money. I don't want to be him by any stretch of the imagination.
Some good, content.
I don't want to put a cowboy hat on and go kick the football around. No, I like being on the radio.
Hopefully, it'll be some good.
I would always take more money, but no, I don't like Pat McAfee. And it's not even, I don't like Pat
Don't
McAfee.
you want to get in the studio, though, and make a song?
Thursday at midnight, Dookie's dropping.
Thank God.
All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headline.
We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Dutcher and Hardy.
All right, The Stack is brought to you by New England's largest Volkswagen dealer group, Colonial VW, located in Medford, Wellesley, and Westboro. Come see the amazing finance and lease offers happening every day at colonialvw.com. Yes, you can have it all at Colonial. We played the woman in Jacksonville who was praising Liam Cohen after the game, but then she said Duval, which I didn't care for. And my original point on it was we get these intermedia, like industry emails, and people were debating it, which I thought was ludicrous. And I had used up my good 227 joke because I said, I know her address. It's 227 Duval Street, which is very funny. But then we brought it up again because Pat McAfee made it into a larger political, sociological point, as he brazenly and bravely does on a regular basis. Highly intelligent, keen human being. And usually I don't dislike the person, like the boom people. Like, I don't inherently dislike them. They're being trained. I don't like the people that like them. Pat McAfee I don't like. I've explained that when he was a punter, I probably would have liked him on the show, but now it's gotten too out of hand.
Too much.
But I want to read this. This is from a Dewey in the Cape. Have you ever even watched, I was setting something up. I wasn't just complimenting myself. Have you ever watched a single second of the Norman Lear classic, Good Times? That white man was in no way, I said people didn't know, but it was actually a 25-year-old white guy with a boombox playing Malona from Good Times. It says, a white man was in no way, shape, or form doing a Malona impression. Malona's voice was higher pitched and more accent or akin to a Midwestern African-American accent. For God's sakes, man, you lived in Detroit. What's the matter with your ears? Or maybe it's your brain. Anyone with a single firing neuron knows he was impersonating the grandmother from Family Matters. You call yourself a classic sitcom fan. You wouldn't know Three's Company from Mama's Family. God bless your heart.
That's right. Bless your heart.
Bless your heart. That's what everyone who threatened to kill me from North Carolina used to say. That's
right.
Dewey from the Cape. That's very funny. I couldn't think of another lady. I had used my 227.
You mentioned the Golden Globes a minute ago, too, Fred. Do you know who won the Golden Globe for Best Motion Picture Drama?
I wanted to see it. That Hamnet. Yeah, Hamnet thing. I wanted to see that, but it was only in the theater like a week.
No.
And I was doing something else. But that's supposed to be a very good film.
So there's Hamnet, and then the Best Picture for Musical or Comedy, we mentioned this earlier, One Battle After Another, which I saw, and I know it's not a musical, so apparently that was a comedy that I watched and didn't laugh at once.
There were a couple, like, Leonardo DiCaprio's funny, and Sean Penn is, like, ridiculous.
But it's not funny.
But again, this isn't... First of all, it's the Golden Globes, who cares? But second of all, it's just they don't make comedies anymore. Hollywood has really quit making comedies, and I'm such a loser. It's like almost out of allegiance to the form, I will go and like buy a ticket to watch pretty much any adult comedy that comes out just because I want to support it. Because they really, it's blockbusters or like Oscar bait. Oscars, it's blockbusters, sequels, retreads, or animated films. They don't make the movies that most of us like. Comedies, thrillers. I saw that the Housemaid movie. I saw it with my daughter on Saturday, and I got to tell you, I liked it a lot.
Oh.
I thought it was very good. She didn't like it as much as I did, but I did enjoy it. I thought that was a good film. So I've seen one movie this year.
I like Zootopia 2.
I saw Zootopia 2.
It was a good movie. What didn't you like about it?
I mean, it wasn't smart enough.
Too many.
The first one hit all the right notes.
Too many fun animals?
Not enough.
Oh, all right.
I was looking for a cavalcade, a real menagerie of fun animals. And I was given but a handful.
I was given but a smattering.
But a paltry smattering of fun animals. I didn't believe half of them were there for the right reasons. Much like you sports journalists out there. Taking shots at what I love, a unifying thing.
There you go.
That you so badly want to take down, and I know of this because you make fun of me.
Duval, you the one.
And by making fun of me, I know that you're not only making fun of me, you're trying to actively take down the universe. That's what he's saying. That when you insult Pat McAfee in a broader sense, you're attacking the world.
Yes.
You're trying to sabotage the world.
Yes.
It's a think tank nuclear bomb. Boy, is he a pretentious piece of garbage. I hate him. How about that? I don't say that every day. I really
Hopefully
hate
it'll
him.
be some good
Kaboom. I'll leave you with that. All right, that'll do with us. I saw Zolak. He's here. They will take you through. Everyone's celebrating the big win. That'll do it for us. We are going to be back tomorrow with